AI agents are everywhere, automating tasks and making decisions at machine speed. But agents make mistakes. Just one rogue agent can do big damage before you even notice. Rubrik Agent Cloud is the only platform that helps you monitor agents, set guardrails, and rewind mistakes, so you can unleash agents, not risk. Accelerate your AI transformation at Rubrik.com. That's RUBRIK.com.
Everybody, and welcome back to Crime and Sports.
Yay!
Oh, yay indeed, Jimmy. Yay indeed. My name is James Pietragallo. I'm here with my co-host.
I'm Jimmie Whisman.
Thank you so much for joining us today as we say goodbye to Billy Martin. Our final part of Billy Martin will be today, and I'm going to miss him. I got to be honest with you. I'm going to miss Billy.
We bid you adieu.
We bid you adieu. He's like Evel Knievel, where I'm like, oh, man, I'm kind of sad here.
Yeah.
Kind of just want let's just have this show be everything Billy Martin's ever done in his whole life, because it's pretty entertaining stuff.
There's no more Billy.
No more Billy. We will get to that and more. First of all, though, definitely want to tell you to head over to shutupandgivememurder.com. Yeah. Get all your merchandise. Get all your tickets for live shows for Small Town Murder and Your Stupid Opinions. We have... Full slate is on sale right now for 2026. Some new places we haven't been, like it's Buffalo. Yeah. We're going there. We're San Jose. I don't think we've been there before. So get them right now. There is one Your Stupid Opinion show in Phoenix as well. No crime and sports. Sorry about that, everybody. So shutupandgivememurder.com. Definitely get yourself Patreon, because it's worth it. Patreon.com/crimeinsports is where you get all the bonus material, and there's so much, and it's so reasonable. All you have to be is $5 a month or above, and you get, first of all, as soon as you subscribe, hundreds of bonus episodes you've never heard before from Crime and Sports and Small Town Murder. You get them all, and then every other week you get two new episodes, one Crime and Sports, one Small Town Murder, and you again get it all. That's right. And in addition to that, you also get all the shows we put out, Crime and Sports, Your Stupid Opinions, and Small Town Murder, all ad-free with your Patreon. Ad-free, and you get a shout-out at the end of the show, too. Yeah. Jimmy will screw your name all up. Don't you worry about that. So that said, I think it's time to check this out. That's patreon.com/crimeinsports. Got to bookend it, and I always forget. So let's do this. Okay, let's dive back in with Billy.
Here we go. Yeah.
Last week, he was hired and fired numerous times again. Yeah. We've had like 3 episodes in a row where he's been hired and fired more than once of each, which is pretty amazing. Billy, at this point, is still, I guess, under contract for the Yankees, technically, but he's not managing. He's not doing anything. He still owes the IRS a bunch of money.
Right.
He's having some problems. He's drunken issues last week. This week, let's start out with September 21st, 1988, from the Niagara Falls Review newspaper.
Oh, boy.
And we'll find out what Billy's up to now, because it's very Evel Knievel-esque. I mean, very Evil-esque here.
Is he lying? Is he stealing?
No, not like that. Another thing that Evel did. Here we go. Beautiful Jill Martin, that's his girlfriend/wife, claims husband Billy Martin is a practical joker. Beautiful Jill is a mistress of understatement. We were in a restaurant recently when she spied him walking alone. Racing out, she hollered, "Hey, bird legs." In came Billy, carrying a dainty shopping bag bearing a small camera. He insisted on taking my photo. Like the imbecile that I am, I posed. Billy clicked the shutter, and what popped out made the ladies nearby gasp in excitement. Billy happily went around taking other women's photos. Face it, you have to love Billy Martin. He sure livens up a quiet afternoon. What came out? A dick?
I don't know.
Did a dick come out? That's the only...
what else is there?
It has to be a dick, right? I would think.
You got to assume.
I don't know. Well, if you're in the Niagara area, by the way, where this newspaper comes from, and you have certain problems, I know a guy who can solve them. It's the Weed Man, everybody. Weed Man.
What does he do?
Weed Man has an ad in here. Serving Niagara Falls for over 10 years, he does crabgrass control.
Oh.
Complete for, yeah. People very excitedly call him up, and he's like, you got crabgrass? And they're like, oh, never
You
mind.
son of a bitch.
Complete
The
fertilization.
devil's crap, yeah.
Insect control, complete. Complete weed control, aerating, dethatching. Oh, God, we all could use a dethatching now and then, right?
Well, if it's too thatched,
It's,
you're in a
yeah.
lot of trouble.
You don't want to be over thatched is the problem. You got to dethatch a bit. All work guaranteed, free estimates, the Weed Man. And he doesn't look like he smokes a lot of weed. It's a guy in like a sweater and a dress shirt with a mustache. Okay, November 15th, 1988. Billy here, oh boy, he's still with the Yankee organization. The headline is Billy Loves Life in Broome with an E.
What does that mean?
Broome with an E. Yeah, Billy Martin is here to stay and with the New York Yankees organization to stay. That's what Martin told a crowd of 275 during a sports dinner at Johnson City last night, his first public appearance since buying a rural home in Broome County in September.
Oh.
He said, I won't work any other place but for the Yankees for the rest of my life. He's actually right about that.
Right.
Yankees owner George Steinbrenner fired Martin for the 5th time in June, but Martin remains a highly paid consultant, a role that he played down. Martin said, quote, I'm his top assistant. And he said, he hasn't called me in 4 months. So basically, he's getting a paycheck so he doesn't go somewhere else. That's all. And so on Old Timers Day, he comes out and waves his little cap, as Tom Hanks said. That's that.
Takes a paycheck.
During those 4 months, he and Jill, his wife of less than a year, acquired 150 acres in the town of Fenton that they have renamed Castlemar Farms. The farm has nearly 3/4 of a mile of frontage on Potter Hill Road. Wow. Billy said, quote, I love your community and I want to be a part of it, a very big part of it. I'm going to be living here for the rest of my life.
Oh.
That's it. The decision was the occasion was the second annual sports dinner at the Binghamton Area Girls Softball Association of Broome County.
Okay.
Before it was Martin's turn to speak, outgoing Broome County Executive Carl Young presented him with a plaque declaring yesterday Billy Martin Appreciation Day in the county.
Great.
He said, I won't read all the whereases, but it makes mention of several periods with the Yankees, is what it says on there. Okay. So, yeah, they're talking all about the dinner here. Dinner chairman Leo Fahey said that Jill Martin, who formerly worked as a photographer for the AP, specified in firming up arrangements, there'll be no press conference. While her husband accommodated autograph seekers after the dinner, the ex-manager's wife revealed that their California home is up for sale, but they are not occupying their new home yet. She said the home needs extensive remodeling, the farmhouse they bought.
Oh.
So, anyway, Martin's speech, they said it's kind of what he usually does, talks to the parents of juvenile athletes, telling them to let them be kids as long as they can. Don't make them take sports too seriously. He also lamented the deterioration of team pride that was the Yankees' hallmark in his playing days. He said the love for dollars is more than the love of the uniform.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, it's millions of dollars. So that's how it happens. So yeah, he did all of his kind of greatest hits with Minnesota. He took a 7th place team to first place, and yada yada, same old shit. He says about Steinbrenner, I happen to like him, but George thinks baseball is like football. He has a football-oriented mind. Everybody can get up for one game in football. Baseball, you play 162 games. He wants you to win the championship in April. You can't win in April, you win it in October. I wish I had enough money, I'd fire him just once.
Sure.
Yeah. He said that Steinbrenner now has these players, and he says that he's created a monster making a millionaire out of players, and he says then he asked the manager to correct his mistake.
Huh.
So you manage
it's not my
these
fault you
guys.
gave him the money. Now he's an asshole.
Now what the fuck do you want from me? You can't find this guy. It doesn't mean anything. So when they asked about the Yankees' new manager, Dallas Green, who didn't last long and did horribly, God, he sucked as a manager, he paused momentarily before saying, quote, maybe he'll be up here in a month looking for a retirement home too. So there you go. This is back from the book here. Okay. Billy was not a farmer at heart. He was a city kid, Jill said. But the trips to Texas and Oklahoma and all those fishing and hunting outings had changed him over time. I remember being surprised when we first looked at that farm. The farm's outside Binghamton, New York. It's in very rural area out there. I mean, it is. That's like, western New York a little bit. It's out there.
It's bleak, yeah.
It is fucking bleak. I had a cousin who went to college there, and he ended up transferring to NYU within the first year because he's like, I can't take it out here. It's horrifying.
So much space.
It's just a lot out there.
There's
it's
no
cold.
pizza.
It's so fucking cold. That's all there is pizza. That's the problem. There's nothing else. Just pizza.
But they don't deliver.
They don't deliver. She said, Jill goes on to say, we were walking down the driveway and Billy just stopped and said, I want this.
Really?
Wanted the farm. Yep. The farm was rough around the edges with many dense wooded sections, but it also had a vast network of trails and open fields. That sounds fun.
Yeah.
The land had potential for multiple uses. Driving around on a golf cart he had brought to the property, Billy made friends with his new neighbors quickly, learning everyone's name, occupation, and interests. He otherwise kept to himself, but he was available when someone needed an extra hand on a small project.
Yeah.
He's just ingratiating himself to the locals.
Yeah.
Come on, Billy. Hey, Billy, you want to help me? I'm lifting my transmission out. You want to come help me? Sure, no problem there, buddy.
Yeah.
Okay. He also donated to the local firehouse. A fire truck still has a plaque noting that it was the benefit of a donation by Billy Martin. He went to the local Catholic church for Mass, made friends with the priests and parishioners, and donated to the local Catholic youth organization, which sponsored area youth sports. Yeah, you do. Yeah. If you play basketball as a kid in New York, it's CYO basketball. That's all there is. One Betty Jenks, who lived next door to Billy, said, he was always just so friendly. He fit in so well. He was just one of us. He didn't put on airs. The arguing or aggressive person they talk about on television and in the newspapers is different than the person I knew. Because he's not at work.
Yeah.
He's relaxing. It took months for the farmhouse renovations to be completed, and Billy and Jill lived in a nearby Comfort Inn while the biggest work was being done. That's a change. Eventually, they moved in as more work was being done, most of it to complete an extravagant, sumptuous, and profligate master bedroom suite that had a fireplace, hot tub, sauna, and among other things, a 24-karat gold-plated urinal affixed to a bathroom wall. He got a golden urinal.
You owe the government
idiot.
money?
You fucking idiot. Unless you have so much money, you have no idea what to do with it. A 24-karat gold urinal?
Yeah.
What the fuck are you doing? Why do you want a urinal at your home, number one? Yeah. You like piss splashed about your rooms? Is that it?
I'd like one in my garage, I think, so that I
that
don't
would
have
be
to go
easy
in the
because you have to
house.
go
That'd be
inside.
fun. Yeah,
but this is in their bathroom.
Yeah.
Different.
What about her, man?
Yeah, you can stick one out in like the side of your house out back. That you'd find that useful because you piss in your yard like a fucking dirtbag.
What do you need a urinal in your bathroom for? Don't you have a shower?
Yeah, what's wrong with you? Don't you have a shower drain that works just fine? Jesus Christ, what's your sink broken? What's the problem? Backed up sink. What are we doing?
I would love one in a garage. That would be amazing. I think that's the pinnacle of success.
I remember years and years ago, Adam Carolla talking about how he put urinals in his garage.
Brilliant.
Years ago.
It's such a pain in the ass to be
on like Loveline back in the day. Used to talk
wrenching on anything, and then you're like, "Fuck!" You're inevitably drinking beers in there, and now I got to go all the way in the house to take a piss.
He said his house, the bathroom was all up these stairs, and he's like, no, we're pissing right here.
Mine's just on the other end of the house. I don't have upstairs down. It's a long way.
Now you just piss in your yard, which is also,
yeah, outside, yeah.
You piss like on the grass like a golden retriever. When your property is not large enough to warrant such.
No, I don't have acreage.
It's literally from any point in the yard you're pissing, it's no more than 50 feet to a toilet. No more than 50
further
feet.
To the house.
No more than 50 feet to a toilet, I promise.
But I'd rather have one just right in the corner in the fucking garage. That'd be amazing.
That'd be
but
good.
then you have to plumb it all the way there. and it's impossible. 'cause
Yeah.
it's
Well, you have a lot of places,
floor.
there's sinks in a lot of garages. Some people have.
Yeah,
So
but I don't have that.
You don't have. Yeah, you'd have
I
to.
don't have that.
You don't have. Damn it. Well, next house. There you go.
I'm gonna have to cut concrete to do this.
Oh, fuck that. That
and
seems
I'm on
like a lot.
septic, so then I'd have to run a pipe all the way
Yeah.
to the septic tank. That's not gonna happen.
Just piss on the side of the house and let it.
It's going
let
on the brick, man.
Stink in the Phoenix heat.
In the summertime,
Summer. Oh, I know. I've been there.
taking
I've
out
been
the
with you.
trash in the summertime. I'm like, what is? Oh yeah, I pissed there.
Oh yeah.
I forgot about that. I'm a monster.
You're like these neighbors and their fucking dogs. Wait a minute. That's
I'm
me.
a
Never
piece
mind.
of shit.
I'm gross. I'm sorry.
I am trash.
So they say when Billy got up late at night to relieve himself, he was apparently notoriously inaccurate. So the urinal, so he can just lean on into it and
Okay, yeah.
not miss.
But that's what you're. That's why you don't like them. It's because
No,
that's
'cause
what people do.
There's
They're just
piss
inaccurate.
everywhere. Oh, it's all over the place.
Yeah.
It's just always going to get on your shoes. It's horrible.
Bunch of misfiring.
So a normal toilet would not do. The man used to bars and saloons made less of a mess with a urinal. The gold plating apparently added some dignity to an unusual household bathroom fixture. Okay.
I can piss on my shoes, but at least my toilet's cold.
It's doing great. Oh, my God. All right. Jill hired a local housewife, Mary Lynch, to help her around the house. Mm-hmm. For Lynch, who was in her 20s, it was the start of a 3-year relationship. Lynch became a combination house cleaner, caretaker, valet, and aide-de-camp of Fenton's most famous residents. Jill, Lynch said, was a detail-oriented and a taskmaster, critical of the contractors and others she was doing business with in Billy's sphere. She said Billy would spend the day tooling around on his tractor, and they had bought all these sheep, a ram, geese, and ducks. Billy wanted to be a farmer. He wanted to try that life. But Jill would spend her house in a day in the house and just an office off the kitchen. She would be watching the stock market tables and on the telephone talking to people. She was smart. She was always reading manuals and architectural magazines. She was studying things. And if someone crossed her, she could cuss up a storm. She gonna cuss up a storm.
Really?
But she could turn it on and off. She'd be on the, she was a sports photographer.
Yeah.
She's heard plenty. She'd be on the phone in the office just reaming someone out, screaming into the phone. Then she would come out to the kitchen and be as sweet as can be. In a calm, pleasant voice, she'd say, "Hi, Mary, how are you?" Wow.
Right after swearing somebody down?
Well, yeah, that's business in there.
Yeah.
Now it's not. That's
Hey,
all.
go fuck yourself. Hey, how are
Yeah,
you?
like, hey, how's it going? That's fine. Shit. We've had to yell and scream
we
and then
have-
go on
yeah.
stage and do a goddamn comedy show. Remember fucking Silver Springs? Oh, my
Yeah.
God. I was hoarse from screaming. And you, I think, were hoarse from laughing at me screaming at people. That's the thing you don't understand about us as a weird dynamic. If you do business with us and you fuck us, the way it works is I will yell at you and run down what you've done, and Jimmie will, and I'll say really mean shit, which makes Jimmie die laughing.
In your face.
He finds nothing funnier than when I'm mean and angry.
Mad.
Well, especially because I'm mixing kind of jokes sort of in it too. So you're like, what are you doing?
A little bit of snark involved, but it's
So you just fall on the floor
just
laughing.
So fun.
So imagine being yelled at and screamed at by someone you're working at while another person laughs hysterical at you for being yelled at. Like imagine that combination is the most undignified way to do any kind of business. It's hilarious. Undignified for them because they don't know what to do.
It's like those meltdown videos where on TikTok and Instagram where somebody's yelling at a gate agent, but nobody's laughing. Everybody's just horrified.
Imagine if you had a
one
hype
guy
man
standing right next to them cackling.
It makes it so much worse. Especially when you're firing somebody who's supposed to who's been fucking you over for a year. It's amazing.
And if there's punches thrown, I'm going to laugh hard.
It's going to be even harder. I'm going to have to get Jimmie to stop laughing to help me.
This elicited punches. There's now violence. This is amazing.
That's amazing. Hasn't got to that point, luckily.
No, it's fine.
No, but oh man.
It's just fun at this point.
That particular group could really draw it out of me, those people, boy.
Man.
They really brought it out of me. Tell you what.
They made it up with cheesesteaks, right? No, was it?
No,
Silver
no.
Spring. What
That was
How
your
did
friend
they
with
do-
the crabs. They didn't.
Yeah.
They brought us like a pre-roll or something
Yeah.
or some shit, and it was like, listen, you can shove this right up your ass because I got beef with you. We were like, whoa. I think I was smoking it while yelling at them, as a
there
matter
was
of
no way
fact.
for them to solve the problem.
No,
They came in with the best of intentions.
And they came in with interns and shit. That was the
Big
great. Like,
smiles.
hey, let's meet our clients. And we were like, you motherfucking cocksucking son of a
How
bitch, thieving
dare you.
bastard, cock fucking licking son. Oh, that was amazing.
We lost thousands and thousands.
You know how much fucking money we lost because of you fucking scumbag mother. Oh, God, that was great. Okay, back to Billy Martin. Lynch saw how the roles in the household had developed. Jill had to take some control. Billy was carefree, but highly irresponsible, too. Yeah, that's all he does. Is just.
It's what he's irresponsible. Responsible has left Billy a long time ago.
He knows what to do on a baseball field. Outside of that, he's a disaster.
Yeah. And
It
responsible. Fuck responsible. We're having fun.
I feel like Billy's going to enjoy having a few drinks out here because he's going to be bored, too.
And nobody can fuck with him about it. He can just,
He'll know all the local cops. He can drive home
Yeah.
shit-faced, which is a problem, as we'll find out.
And then he's got a urinal.
So he's got a urinal. Lynch said the UPS driver was coming to the house every day because Jill was ordering things for the house or getting Victoria's Secret lingerie delivered.
Oh, is
Damn.
that right?
Have a sexy farmhouse.
Nobody gets to see.
Wow. And Jill or I would have to make sure we got to the driver before Billy did because Billy might tip him $50.
Oh.
The UPS driver.
Yeah.
She said Billy was like a big kid. He loved to cook spaghetti sauce from scratch. Well, yeah, he's Italian. That's very important to us. But he'd leave it on the stove and walk down to the pond to fish. The burner on the stove would get hotter and hotter until the sauce would just explode out of the pan. Yeah,
That
it's
is
all
a
burned on
problem.
the bottom. You gotta stir the sauce
If
constantly.
you don't stir it, when you do stir it, oh boy, watch out.
I'm stirring it, as Henry Hill's brother said. So that's what happened here. I swear I was always cleaning up spaghetti sauce off the kitchen ceiling.
Jesus.
That's some force.
It's
some
really
velocity
going,
to get it up there into the.
That means it's hot.
Yeah, to
'Cause that
wedge it into an
pocket-
acoustic tile. That's a.
The sauce gets heavy and it holds down that boil and keeps that heat from expanding through the sauce.
Yeah, when it gets
so it
thicker.
doesn't. Yeah, as it gets thicker and now you've just got this giant bubble that's and then you puncture that with a spoon and here it comes.
It comes
Watch
out. Yeah, you'll get extra, even if it is boiling. When you rouse it.
It gets going.
She said he also loved Haagen-Dazs strawberry ice cream. A good
Really?
choice, my friend.
Not bad,
A good
yeah.
choice. Love strawberry ice cream, which he would eat out of the container while watching TV.
Nice.
But he'd fall asleep watching TV while eating ice cream, and the whole container would melt into the living room couch. I'd have to clean that up, too.
God
Yeah.
damn it.
If you're drunk ice cream eating while you're watching TV at 2 a.m. is amazing. Amazing.
Yeah.
You gotta
put that away.
You got to put that away. But you
Or
know that's
finish
what it
it.
is. If
That's
you're
your choices.
You've had 8-9 drinks, you're going to be passed out with melted ice cream in your lap. March 27th, 1989, he is roasted.
Uh-oh.
Well, this is good.
Where? At the Friars Club?
No. I believe this is, we'll find out where it is. But he's roasted by teammates, players, and all sorts of people. Comic Robert Wool is the MC. Arliss.
Oh, wow. Really?
Yeah. Well, he was in Bull Durham before that.
Yeah.
He was in
And he's probably, what year is
Sports
this?
89. So
Oh,
that
he's
was
almost
after
about
Bull
to be
Durham.
Arliss. Yeah.
Yeah, Arliss in about 6 years, 7 years. But
Is it
yeah,
that
that's
late?
Yeah, it was in the late 90s, 96, 97. Arliss came out, something like that, maybe 98 even. So mid 90s, yeah. So Robert Wool was into the sports stuff back then. He referred to Martin as baseball's first designated hitter because he'd punch people. It was one of many references to Martin's celebrated off-the-field fights with a variety of celebrants, or combatants. I'm sorry, I was looking at another line. He said, this is Chicago, Ernie Banks. Wow, himself.
He was there too. Yeah.
Ernie Banks said, Billy's the only player listed in both the Baseball Register and Ring Magazine. His hitting coach was Jake LaMotta.
That's pretty good.
That's good stuff. I'm sure
Who
Robert
wrote
Wool's
that for
writing.
him?
You know Robert Wool's writing, just handing out 8x
Writing his ass off.
handing out index cards to fucking Hall of Famers left and right.
Yeah.
Ernie Banks didn't sit down and
He
write
didn't
that.
write anything.
No.
And if he did, it would just be like,
let's play 2.
yeah.
He's not writing fucking jokes
I
and
don't
punchlines.
think so. No.
Banks praised Martin's perseverance, noting he had survived 5 tours of duty with George Steinbrenner.
Very good.
That's good, not bad. Martin, who gained a reputation in the 50s as one of baseball's scrappiest players while wearing a Yankee uniform, returned as manager of the club 2 decades later. Hall of Famer Whitey Ford took his turn at sniping at his good friend. Quote, "I'm Billy's best friend, and even I don't like him," Whitey said.
Yeah.
"He's got a good heart, but I can't say much for his liver." That's a good line.
Not bad.
That's a great line. I'm sure that is recycled.
Yeah. Well, they're all every roast joke is the hackiest, dumbest shit
Because
on
it's
the
all
planet.
yeah. But
it's
that's
all,
one.
There's not a fucking original one left anymore.
No. But like the ones about Baseball Register and Ring Magazine as hitting coaches,
That's
Jake
pretty good.
LaMotta,
Yeah,
that's written specifically for Billy Martin. There's nobody else that applies to. But this is, you could absolutely hear Henny Youngman saying this about Dean Martin on an old roast or something like that. He has a good heart, but I can't say much for his liver. Sure. Hey, I take my wife everywhere, but she finds a way home.
Take my wife.
Take my wife, please. So the event was held at the Riviera Hotel and Casino, with proceeds going to benefit Spina Bifida Association of America. Odd thing to raise money for at that point. All right, July 2nd, 1989, another roasting.
God dang.
Yeah, he's come under fire before, but now he's going to be roasted, the newspaper says. Right. Martin steps into the batter's box at Harrah's Marina Hotel Casino Friday for a televised celebrity tribute. God damn it, I have to find this on YouTube. In Atlantic City, yeah. The invitation-only Billy Martin Celebrity Roast is scheduled for 8 o'clock and will be hosted by comedian Alan King, who was on all those old Friars Club roasts back in the day there. An impressive, like in the 60s and all that shit. An impressive lineup of sports and entertainment celebrities will help King roast the fiery Martin, including Mickey Mantle, Howard Cosell, Steve Landsberg, and former Yankees pitching great Whitey Ford. Same crew.
Yeah.
Moving over. I wonder if they're going to bring the same jokes.
Saying the same shit.
Say the same shit. I can't say much
new
for
audience,
his liver.
Whatever.
Here we go.
This is the late show.
That's what I mean. What are you supposed to do? Write new material every show?
Listen, the 10 o'clock's the same show as the 7:30. Leave me alone.
What do you want? Yeah. The hell do you want? Okay, July 4th, 1989. IRS agents playing hardball with former Yankees manager.
Oh boy.
Is the headline in the newspaper. $35,564 lien filed against ex-bad boy Billy Martin. So he's still not paying taxes.
Still not, yeah.
Holy shit. It's been filed against him by IRS agents working out of Buffalo's district. The liens against him was filed Tuesday in Broome County. Here, the lien resulted from an outstanding balance for Mr. Martin's 1987 personal income taxes. Hey, everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you how to dress better with Quince at quince.com. It is the time of season to do this right now. You got the holiday plans. It's cold in the morning. This is when you need your wardrobe to work. It's got to work for you. It's got to be right. And that's why you need to go to Quince. They make it easy to look sharp, feel good, and find gifts that last. From their awesome Mongolian cashmere sweaters all the way to the Italian wool coats, Quince pieces are crafted from premium materials and built to hold up without the luxury markup. Quince makes the essentials every guy needs. Mongolian cashmere sweaters, how much would you say? Well, $150? No, $50. That's right, $50. Ridiculous. Italian wool coats that look and feel designer, denim and chinos that fit you the way you want them to fit you. Their outerwear lineup is awesome too. Down jackets, wool top coats, leather styles that are built to last. I myself bought a really cool leather jacket from Quince. I got a bunch of shirts too. I've already worn those to actually specific parties. We had to go to one for our network and one for a holiday thing, and it works. Quince is the place to go. It is my go-to. Each piece is made from premium materials that are made by trusted factories that meet rigorous standards for craftsmanship and ethical production. They cut out that middleman. That's where all the markups come from, and they go, I don't think so. Quince is going to deliver the same quality as luxury brands at a fraction of the price. It's everything you actually want to wear, built to hold up season after season. It's really great, I'm telling you. Can't recommend Quince enough. We shop there, and you should too. It's awesome. Get your wardrobe sorted and your gift list handled with Quince. Don't wait. Go to quince.com/crimeinsports for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. Now available in Canada too. That's QUINCE.com/crimeinsports. Free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/crimeinsports. Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit more about Soul. You can check them out at getsoul.com. Oh my God, these are great. Their out-of-office gummies are amazing. They're fantastic. You need it because in the holiday season's here. You're going to have, there's parties all the time and all these sugary drinks and all the alcoholic drinks and all that kind of thing. I'm not doing that. I'm grabbing the out-of-office gummies instead. Same fun, gonna have a good time, low in calories, zero hangover. It is the good stuff. Soul is a wellness brand that believes feeling good should be fun and easy. Soul specializes in delicious hemp-derived THC and CBD products designed to boost your mood and help you unwind. Their best-selling out-of-office gummies were designed to provide a mild, relaxing buzz, boost your mood, and enhance creativity and relaxation. With 5 different strengths, you can tailor the dose to fit your vibe, from a gentle 1.5 milligram microdose to their newest, and very nice, by the way, 15 milligram gummy for a more elevated experience. Soul also has a variety of products specifically designed to help you get a better night's rest, including their top-selling Sleepy Gummies. Everybody loves the Sleepy Gummies. I love them the most. I have such a hard time getting to sleep, and these are excellent. They're so good. They'll help you get a deep, restorative sleep. They're really good. Also, it's organically farmed, USA-grown hemp. They're vegan, gluten-free, low in sugar, federally legal, and should be in your house right now. Bring on the holiday cheer and treat yourself or someone you love to Soul this season. Right now, Soul is offering our audience 30% off your entire order. Go to getsoul.com and use the code CRIMEINSPORTS. That's getsoul.com, promo code CRIMEINSPORTS for 30% off. They said, we make numerous efforts to contact that person. If it fails, the IRS files a tax lien. It's a public notice of tax liability. After filing a lien, the government tries to work out a payment schedule with the individual. If that fails, we can seize assets, property, or levy bank accounts.
Right.
All right. So, they're talking about that. Now, the town clerk said, I haven't heard of anything here. It would surprise me. We have no problems with it at all. We'll be proud to have him living in our. We're proud to have him living in our town. Mm-hmm. They're saying that he faithfully paid one of the town's highest residential tax and school bills since moving to the area. He said, we got our money. I don't know what the fuck you guys want. It's your problem. He pays property taxes. He bought the farm for $360,000 in 1989.
Whoa,
that's a price. It's pricey.
That's a big one too, right? A lot of
150 acres it was.
That's what it would cost. Yeah,
that's what it costs, and did all those renovations, which probably cost half of the house again.
Right.
And all that land to work, they're hired. They have to hire people to work the land. Billy's not going out and milking anything.
No.
He's not shearing anything.
Animals, just the groundwork alone, the mowing, the trimming. That's crazy.
It's insanity. So. The town clerk lady said he's very quiet. He's never even tried to tell us who he is. Mm-hmm. He came in here one day to get a fishing license, and he's been one of us ever since. Yeah. Billy said, I have sheep, cattle, ducks, geese, and a few horses. I like it because we also have an 80-acre lake. Yeah. Whoa. I do everything, raise pheasants and turn them loose. Oh. Jesus Christ, that is amazing. He's being a farmer. September 5th, 1989, Billy Martin here denies published reports that he has asked George Steinbrenner for another run at the Yankee manager job.
Oh, he denies it.
He said, not true. I never called George Steinbrenner. As a matter of fact, he called me, and it wasn't about managing. I'm his assistant. He pays me well for being that. When he calls me with a special assignment, I do it. I guess the rumor started because Steinbrenner had recently fired Dallas Green, because he was terrible, and replaced him with Bucky Dent, who saw the team lose 9 of his first 11 games as manager, which didn't work at all. He said, but Martin has not turned his back. He said, it all depends. The situation would have to be right. Mm-hmm. So he's not, by the way, he was in Hawaii holding the Billy Martin Aloha Baseball Clinic at the Hawaii Preparatory Academy. Nice. He got paid to go on vacation in Hawaii. Yeah. So here's from the book. Billy is still lying low on Potter Hill Road. He did attend baseball winter meetings in December in Atlanta. Jill was with him. In the hotel lobby where all the business gets done, Jill was showing off pictures of the farm. The photograph that drew the most reaction was the one taken of Billy in overalls looking elfin as he rode an enormous John Deere tractor.
Right.
He says, quote, "I'm really a poor farmer and maybe not that good at it, but I like it. I'm Port Crane, New York's best-known farmer. I like that very much," he tells ESPN. Asked if he still has any, if he thinks of himself as the best manager in baseball, he said, "No, I'm the best manager out of baseball."
Oh,
that's a good comeback. Yeah. They say Billy was a familiar sight along Front Street. The locals liked how he would sometimes appear at a bar in dusty overalls and then sit and talk about hunting, harvesting, the day's news, or baseball. Mm-hmm. The locals said they felt that he was one of them. Billy would not usually be on Front Street late at night, although that did happen. More commonly, he would be there in the twilight of afternoon or in the evening after making a trip to Home Depot, the gas station, the lumber yard, or the supermarket. Billy would stop in for a few pops on the way home 2 or 3 times a week. It was part of his routine, said Earl Wagstaff, the owner of the Fireside Inn. I think if he needed to get out of the house sometimes, he'd stop in. Who doesn't, right? But he would be unrecognized for a while. Jeans, boots, maybe a floppy hat. He's one of the nicest guys I've ever had in my bar. Mm-hmm. His favorite place was the Bull's Head. A Bull's Head regular named Johnny Franklin said, "Billy was one of the guys in the Bull's Head. We might have been surprised to see him the first couple times, but after that it was never like, oh, there's Billy Martin, the famous Yankee. It was just like, there's Billy." He said Franklin also added that on at least 2 occasions, other Bull's Head patrons drove Billy home. Apparently, Corey Ford had given Billy an F-Series blue and white pickup truck in an exchange for 2 television commercials promoting the dealership. That's nice. I thought Corey Ford was a man. Corey Ford is a dealership. Yeah, I didn't realize that. Once, as Billy climbed into the truck and drove himself home, some of his friends from the Front Street bars followed him to make sure he got back to Potter Hill Road safely. Wow. So the other drunks are thinking maybe you're too drunk. Mm-hmm. How drunk do you think Billy was?
We're going to follow you.
Whoa. Holy shit.
We're going to see if KFC's open, but we're going to follow you.
We'll stop on the way back once you get home. Yeah. Davy Springer, who worked at a deli on Front Street, said of Billy, "I never saw him have a cross word with anyone." Oh. It was good weather. In the good weather months of 1989, Billy spent many days sitting alongside his 10-acre pond fishing. After a few trips to Home Depot, he had built wooden stairs between the house and the pond. The house was on a bluff about 50 feet above the pond, and the stairs were anchored into the soil of the hillside. It was a 2-week project, but the stairs were sturdy and proved to be durable, still in use 25 years later.
Oh.
I couldn't do that. That's pretty impressive. Fishing by the pond was relaxing, but it had its limits. As Billy told a friend, Bill Reedy, Billy said, quote, "Jill is always saying, 'Why don't you go down and wet your line?' And that's fine, but how many days in a row can I do that?"
Fishing? Every goddamn day.
Yeah, not Billy.
No. He gets... Also, he drinks out there.
Yeah, Billy's antsy. He just can't sit there, you know. Billy did escape upstate New York frequently, flying to appearances, dinners, and charity golf outings. He stopped at Yankee Stadium sporadically, but tried to keep his distance from the disaster that Dallas Green's regime was becoming.
Yeah,
it was bad. Steinbrenner kept in touch with Billy. He knew the phone number to the farmhouse. Mary Lynch recalls fielding some of the calls, the woman who works there. She said, "The phone was ringing all the time, and I hung up on Steinbrenner several times. He'd start yelling at me, saying, 'You need to go get him now.' And I'd say, 'Listen, you need to understand that Billy's a private person and he likes his privacy,' and I'd hang up on him."
Oh, wow.
But he works for him. I get, don't be rude to me. I don't work for you. I work for Billy, but Jesus. Billy would come in a little while later, and I'd say, "Some guy, George Steinbrenner or something, called." Billy loved that I did that, but he always called him back because he does work for him. As a daily presence in the household, Lynch became intimate with many details of Billy and Jill's life in 1989. She ran errands for them, driving Billy's pickup truck to fetch Drano or mouse traps. She mailed their packages and made the check deposits at the bank, which averaged about $35,000 a month.
Oh.
Billy's doing pretty well for himself here. She
35 G's a month?
Yeah, in 1989.
That's wonderful.
He's fucking killing it.
Yeah.
Even with the urinal up in the bedroom upstairs, Billy still wasn't that accurate in the middle of the night, Lynch said. He had a hard time hitting it. I was potty training my young boys at the time, and they weren't too accurate either. I tried a trick with them, so I tried it with Billy. I put Cheerios in the toilet and urinal, and I left a note, please aim to sink the Cheerios. That definitely helped. That is a great psychological factor because if there is a target, we will piss at it. That's the thing. We will absolutely try to piss at a target if there's one. So if you give us a target, perfect.
A lot of times it's just
we'll aim.
It's just the stray fro hairs from the long-haired dick before me.
Absolutely, yeah. One of those, like if you're at a stadium, one of those troughs, you see like a cigarette butt floating. Everyone's hitting that cigarette butt. It's bouncing all over the place. You can't stop it.
That must be why they put the ice in there, right? Because everybody tries to melt the ice.
Maybe. I think cool piss smells worse. It smells better than hot piss. I think that's how that works.
It all smells the same, man.
Yeah, I think that's the theory behind it anyway. But
lately, they don't put targets in urinals anymore. They got those like the bee in the waterless ones. That fake bee in there. But they also have the random dick hair in most of them.
That's
I don't know.
You're lucky. Somebody's 4-inch long pube. That's what you got to aim at.
It's crazy what men are rocking out there. Evidently, I mean, I don't see a lot of dicks, but evidently there are some long-haired dicks out there. A lot of mullets on these things.
Seeing a lot of dicks, and there's a lot of dick hair around these dicks that I'm seeing. Let me tell you something.
I just see urinals, you guys, and those urinals see a lot of dicks, and there are hairs all over them.
That's awesome.
It's fascinating.
So the book goes on to say, while others close to Billy and Jill witnessed frequent screaming arguments that ended with golf clubs thrown on the front stoop or a hotel door kicked in,
Good Lord.
Lynch said Billy and Jill never quarreled in front of her during her years of being with them. Mm-hmm. Okay. But there was some fighting. Mike Klepfer, a former New York State trooper who later started a Binghamton area trucking company and befriended Billy, said he saw or heard serious, vicious disputes in which Billy and Jill threw heavy objects at each other charged at one another. Gee, if only there was a New York State trooper around during that. What the fuck are you doing? What are you doing? Klepfer, who died in 2012, told biographers David Faulkner and Peter Golenbach. David Faulkner's the agent, isn't he?
I thought so.
And Peter Golenbach's
Peter
writer.
Faulkner is the other guy.
Oh, that's a whole separate thing.
That's a whole different guy.
You're talking about Columbo? Yeah.
The guy from
Peter
Princess Bride.
Yeah. Okay. They saw that one of these fierce confrontations ended up with Jill heading to a doctor for a neck brace. Mm-hmm. Jesus Christ. Lynch said in 2013, the woman who worked there, looking back, being a little wiser and as an older woman and not a young kid, I did see things that mean a little more to me now. I'd come in for the morning and there would be broken glass everywhere, like he or she had been throwing things. She'd say, we had a slight accident. Oh. So looking back, there might have been some really big fights. And every once in a while, he would leave for New York in kind of a huff and wouldn't come back for 2 days. Jill Lynch, though, also insisted that Jill knew how to keep her husband happy. She said she pampered him. She would draw his bath for him. Uh-huh. She was definitely out to keep him happy. She kept up her appearance, and that was extremely important to her with the long blonde hair and clothes that played up her figure. I mean, she was a looker, no doubt about it, and he liked hanging out with her in public. He loved showing her off. They had a healthy sex life. She had a dresser full of matching Victoria's Secret outfits. She really likes bringing up the lingerie, this lady.
How much full?
A drawer full.
Just one drawer.
A dresser full, not a drawer
That's
full.
a lot.
That's my lingerie dresser there. I put my fuck clothes in that dresser.
That's my Victoria's Secret dresser.
Wow.
Oh, they make dressers now. No.
No.
Every drawer.
There's probably $40,000 worth of fucking shit in there too. That stuff's expensive.
Yeah.
So, asked to assess the tenor and volatility of her marriage to Billy, Jill, who has since remarried, smiled and said, "Our marriage was not any more tumultuous than any other marriage. We had our fights. We disagreed. We got mad. He might storm away or I might storm away. But what couple doesn't have those moments? With broken glass and everything, most
crazy.
of them don't have those moments. That sounds like
not one.
An argument's one thing. Neck braces and broken glass and heavy objects?
Heavy objects. They didn't even say what they are. That could be a fucking 64 Volkswagen.
Could be the Victoria's Secret dresser. We have no idea. Throw all the lingerie at her. Yeah. I don't know what happened. So that's what she says, though. Wow, that's interesting. She said, so yes, that happened, and the alcohol could enhance whatever emotion was going on there, but he could also calm down very quickly. That was an extraordinary gift of his, so I don't think it was out of the ordinary. We lived a pretty normal life. You got drunk and had violent fights, though. Right. That's not normal. Not at all. Jill was troubled by Billy's drinking in 1989, as we figured he would get.
Right. Yeah.
Think about it. He's moving out to the middle of nowhere. He's on the tractor and going to Home Depot because he's bored and he likes action.
Yeah.
So in the winter, when the sun goes down at 4:30 and he's sitting on a fucking farm listening to not even crickets because they're frozen, he's going to be drinking. It's boring.
He's going to be mad.
He's going to be pissed off just listening to the wind blow.
Yeah.
So she said that that Billy knew he had to do something about his alcohol dependence also. She said Billy had a drinking problem. There's no question about that. At times it was under control, and there were times when it wasn't. As we've learned over the many years now and been educated, I think it's clear that there's different levels of alcoholism. 20 or 30 years ago, we didn't know as much and didn't handle it the same. Billy would go weeks or months without drinking. He didn't drink every day. He didn't usually overdrink when he did drink. Other times, he was a very well-functioning alcoholic.
It's a fascinating thing to say.
But all of these, this is kind of, that's just, you just described the life of an alcoholic.
Yeah.
They're fucked themselves all up and they see it and they realize and they go, okay, hold on. I gotta slow down. So then they quit for a little while. Then, maybe I can just drink beer. Maybe I'll just have, I'll have some wine with dinner. I can do that.
Just sip on one drink.
Yeah, I got to go down to the bar and be social with all the people around here. You know what I mean? They're going to think I'm too good. I'll sip. I'll nurse it. And then 9 scotches later, they're following you home in your fucking new truck. So who knows? Jill said, in the last year of his life, I did confront him and he got it back under control. She said, I do think that eventually he would have stopped altogether. Oh, really? He's only 60 at something at this point. When I think by the time he got into his mid-80s, I think he'd really calm down. I really do. He knew his drinking was something he had to confront. It had to be addressed. New opportunities were coming up in his life. He was making appearances, speaking to more groups and different groups, and I think he saw the rest of the world out there and wanted to keep being a part of it, and that probably meant change. I think he would have gone to get help. He was a brave guy, and he was starting to realize that he had a problem. I think that's the first step, right? But it was hard for Billy because it was a different era. It was wrapped up in his persona. Back then, society wasn't as accepting of people who admitted to a problem. That's not really true in the late 80s.
No?
I would say that in the late 60s. Uh-huh. By the late 80s, that was like a badge of that was how like you would reinvigorate your career if you were like in showbiz. Uh-huh. That's how people were reinvigorating their careers. They would say they just went to rehab. They had a big problem. Oh, they're on the comeback now. They went to rehab and they're on every talk show. How many fucking rock stars and movie stars did that? That was literally, I need publicity. I guess I have a problem. So, And
you'd look good for doing it. You'd look like a real magnanimous, what a selfless guy, just going to sacrifice 28 days of his own life. Yep. His children's lives. He's just going to give it all up and go take care of him.
I think Billy doesn't like defeat is what he doesn't like. And that's defeat because then I can't beat it.
Yeah.
I think that's more of Billy's deal. But
sure.
I don't think there was any stigma about it. In 89, from the mid-80s on, that stigma was gone. It was gone. Everyone knows he's an alcoholic. So Anyway, she said it wasn't as easy to reach out for help in those days. It's a different world now, and it's so easy to look back and judge, but it wasn't the same, which is a shame. But it is something I believe he would have discussed at some point. She said if he had stopped drinking, he'd probably still be alive right now. Late in 89, Billy reconnects with his childhood friend that we know very well, old Lou Fagone. I'm Lou Fagone over here. What are we fucking doing? I'm fucking Lou.
Yeah.
Fagone had been all caught up in Billy's shit here in the West. He's from Berkeley. He's one of his oldest friends. He was pushed out of the inner circle, but Billy reached out late in 1989, and Fagone listened and wanted to help. He told Billy he would give Billy whatever he needed. To Fagone, Billy sounded confused and depressed. Sitting in his office 23 years later, Fagone had a succinct assessment of Billy's problems in 1989 and throughout most of his life. To Fagone, who had known Billy since he was a toddler, every setback or difficulty was rooted in his pursuit of the wrong women, or women in general. Yeah. It's Billy's problem. He likes booze and pussy. I mean, who doesn't? But you got to keep that under control, my friend. Yeah. That is what separates us from the animals. You know what I'm saying? You got to do it. Fagone said Billy's downfall was not drinking, it was women. Told of Fagone's assessment, Morabito, who was one of Billy's oldest friends, said it was a combination. The drinking led to women.
Oh.
That's how it worked. He was a lot looser when he had some drinks, and that made him want some ass at that point.
Sure.
He got a little more amorous the more he drank. So this is again from the book. Billy had written George a personal letter from the Fenton farm imploring George Steinbrenner to give him a more active role with the Yankees. He is bored up there.
Yeah, he's got
fucking bored. It's boring, and he is bored.
You gotta figure out what to do when you're there.
Oh shit, that's a lot.
We hear that a lot on Small Town Murder. People bitch about it being too small and nothing to do.
Nothing to imagine. You're on this farm, and you're Billy Martin, who's used to being the manager of the Yankees and being the toast of Manhattan.
Yeah,
and now he goes to
the big city.
Now he goes to the Bull's Head with his overalls on and has a few and has to get followed home by locals. This is different. So Billy wanted a job with genuine input. He didn't want to manage the team, but he was all but begging George to let him get closer to the field again. Steinbrenner was delighted to get the letter. He loved Billy and wanted to be involved in the governance of the team again, and Yankees owners plan to put him in the uniform during spring training, then keep him very close to the team, even if Billy would watch games from the owner's box. Yeah. So he wanted him to be a spring training instructor. Sure. He wanted him to be around a lot, be a face. Yeah. It was part of a grander scheme. Billy would be the manager in waiting should Dent falter, as almost everyone expected, because the pitching poor 1990 Yankees, holy fuck were they bad.
Yeah.
Oh, my God, we're once again looking overmatched. But George kept his thoughts to himself in the early fall of 89. This stretch of Yankee baseball is horrid.
No good.
And I watched every fucking goddamn game that was on every night on WPIX, watching them get the shit kicked out of them while fucking Eric Plunk gets fucking bombed for 8 runs in 2 innings, and then fucking Oscar Azokar strikes out repeatedly. It's fucking terrible. They were awful.
Is this the Deion Sanders Yankees? No.
This is when he came around, 89, 90, but he wasn't any good yet, or anything like that. This is a bad roster.
Dave Justice
Fuck
Yankees?
No. Way before Dave Justice. This is Matt Noakes. Got from the Tigers. This is this era. This is
even David Justice was
Jesse
not
Barfield.
Great with the Yankees. It waited until
he was good. He was he was old though. That was the thing.
Oh, Dave Justice came to the Yankees at the end.
Yeah,
was he drafted by Atlanta?
No, it was the Braves Indians before that. He was on the Braves and Indians for a long time, and then there was Halle Berry years.
Right.
Later on,
I just remember him playing for the Yankees and being like, "Oh, this isn't Dave Justice at all."
No, he had injuries and shit by then. He was wearing like big knee braces and all that kind of shit. But yeah, the Yankees were absolutely Jesse Barfield and Mel Hall and just bad. Steve Sachs came over from the Dodgers. He was half decent. Mattingly was the only guy.
Steve Sachs is the leadoff hitter.
Yeah. Bob Guerin catching, guys like that, just not good, man, not good. So anyway, that's what they're thinking that they want here. George did his best to keep the thoughts to himself in early fall of '89. So Billy did not know of George's scheming when he attended a New Jersey baseball card show in late November. Oh. Speaking to a New Jersey reporter, Billy was asked how he was doing outside of baseball. Billy explained with some enthusiasm about his life on the farm. But he grew melancholy as the interview went on. He was thinking about it. At one point, he offered a striking appraisal of his life situation. Quote, "Now I know why people who retire die soon after."
Why? Because they're bored?
They're bored. He feels dead. Which actually, I saw this, a chart, like an actuary chart.
Yeah.
And actually, the earlier you retire, the longer you live.
Is that right?
Absolutely. If you retire, people who retire at like 52 live to be 85. Now, part of that is if you can afford to retire at 52, it means you have a lot of money and you have good medical care.
When they say people that retire then die shortly after, it's people that work too long and then retire.
Yeah.
It's that.
Yeah, people who retire at like 68 die at 69.
Yes. Because your body's just
run their body into the ground.
That last 10 years, you've beaten the fuck out of your body just by working.
That's when it needs to chill a little bit, okay, so this is from the book. But when Billy came to George's office in late 1989, after 30 minutes of talking about personnel, the two men did something Yankees front office workers had never before seen. They left the office and went down to the empty field. According to multiple Yankees employees at the stadium that day, George and Billy donned coats against the fall chill and took the elevator to the lowest level. It was a short walk to the Yankee Stadium diamond. Because the infield was covered with a tarp, the team owner and the team's 5-time manager walked along the warning track encircling the grass field. Yeah. They remained on the field for about 20 minutes, then exited through the home dugout and up through the dark tunnel that led to the clubhouse. They did not enter the dressing quarters. Instead, George and Billy took a right and walked through the narrow serpentine passageway underneath the first base stands, which eventually wound to a flight of spare, time-worn stairs leading to the principal stadium exit and entrance. Every Yankee since the stadium opened in 1923, Babe Ruth, Lou Gehrig, Joe DiMaggio, Mickey Mantle, all used this bunker-like walkway with the blue-painted cinder block walls.
Oh, yeah.
On this day, George and Billy lingered at the bottom of the stairs, talking in low tones. Then the duo climbed the stairs. At the landing, George and Billy shook hands. Billy exited onto the plaza outside the stadium, heading to his car in the team parking lot for the drive to upstate New York on the thruway to Fenton. With a wave, George turned and headed for the elevator that would return him to his mezzanine-level office. No one heard George and Billy speaking on the field or in the hallway during that late November day, but several Yankees executives, security guards, and clerical workers noticed the uncommon, furtive meeting on the field. Within a few days, the phone rang at Clete Boyer's home in Atlanta. Okay. Billy told Boyer, "Don't get yourself another job. Stay put." Billy, Boyer, who had been fired as one of Billy's coaches the previous year and remained out of baseball, Billy told him, "I'm going to be managing the Yankees next year, and I'll need you as a coach." So now he's saying he's coming back.
Okay.
In early December 1989, Boyer called Buck Showalter and said, "Billy wants you on his staff next year."
Yeah.
The Yankees have a manager, and it isn't Billy, Showalter told Boyer. "Yeah, but George feels like Dent isn't going to cut it, and he told Billy to be ready to take over. He's going to have Billy at spring training so he can watch the team up close. Then when Dent messes up, Billy just jumps in." So poor Bucky Dent is just set up to fail. On the phone at the home of Willie Horton also rang. The message was the same. "Don't take another job in baseball for next season." Billy told him, "I'm going to need you." Billy told Horton he might be back in uniform by May. Lee Walls, another former Billy coach and bar buddy, got the call too. Billy said to sit tight. "I'll call you as soon as they need me," Walls said later on. A few days later, it was almost mid-December, Billy telephoned his favorite New York area sports writer, Michael Kay, who was then a reporter for the New York Daily News. Kay said Billy told him, "I'm coming back, kid. Once Bucky fucks this up, I'm in." Once he fucks it up, he said, "I already got the word from George. I've got all my coaches lined up. You can't write it now, but when it's about to happen, I'll give it to you first."
All right.
That's nice. There was little doubt Steinbrenner was sincere about bringing Billy back. It was a secret, but not all that well kept. Many years later, George would occasionally deny that Billy 6 was coming. Wow. But in 1989, he had told others in the organization that Billy was once again riding to the rescue and was indeed Plan B for the 1990 Yankee season. Mm-hmm. During interviews in 2012 and 13, after Steinbrenner died, those Yankees executives confirmed it. Billy was set to come back again. Mm-hmm. There was another factor that might have played into Steinbrenner's decision. A group of Denver-based investors were backing a team that would become the Colorado Rockies.
Oh, yeah.
The new National League franchise. Their first season was 3 years away, but they were looking for a manager/general manager to build the team from the ground up. They had called Billy 2 weeks before George called the Fenton farmhouse in late November. Mm-hmm. Jill said the Colorado people were going to let Billy run the whole show. There was a lot of interest there. They were going to give him total control over the team.
Yeah.
And they did.
Colorado?
In Colorado. He would have been the beginning of the Rockies, which would have been very interesting.
Yeah.
She said also that the Japanese professional baseball leagues had called as well. Billy was revitalized by the attention. It was like old times. Though 61 years old, he felt like, once again, that he had something that baseball people valued. In the Binghamton bars, at Maury's, the Bull's Head, and the Fireside Inn, a buoyant Billy began dropping little hints that something might be on the horizon for him. Okay, now, at the same time, right around, Billy received some bad news, even if it was not totally unexpected. His 88-year-old mother, Jenny, who'd been in declining health, was now hospitalized.
Oh, no.
Billy's sisters had called and made it plain that while Jenny was not in immediate danger, Billy should come visit before Christmas to be safe. Jenny might rally and recover, which had happened before, but it wasn't looking great, basically.
Sure, yeah.
This message is sponsored by Raycon. If you are out there, you're looking for a holiday gift for people, you need to go to buyraycon.com. That is where you're going to get, it's a no-brainer. They're going to get awesome earbuds. These that I have that they sent me are great. I got them. Raycon's Essential Open Earbuds, and they're great. They're awesome. I love that I can play the music. I can play whatever I want, podcasts, audiobooks, and still hear what's going on around me. It's perfect if you're in the gym or if you're out walking your dog. You can still hear if a car's going to run into you. It's excellent. And right now, they're up to 20% off for the holidays, so grab them while you can. Regular earbuds, they block out everything. You can't hear someone calling your name. You can't hear that car coming towards you. Raycon, that's different. They sit just outside your ear canal so you can get really awesome clear sound, but you can actually also hear all the ambient things that are going on around you too. They're really light in the ear hook part. It rotates so they actually stay in. I've worn them while I'm skateboarding. So while I'm falling down off a skateboard, they still don't fall out of your ears. So they're excellent. And no matter what you're doing around the house, cleaning up, getting ready for the holidays, they don't fall out and they don't get uncomfortable. Raycon has over 3 million customers, and the sound quality is just as good as the way more expensive brands. They're half the price because they're not paying for celebrity endorsements. They're paying for quality is what they're paying for. And that is where all that retail markup stuff comes from. And if you don't like them, they have a 30-day guarantee. You can't beat it. They have the open ear design, breathable fit, comfort, safety, immersive audio while keeping you aware. They're lightweight with a flexible ear hook that adapts to any ear for all-day comfort, multi-point connectivity. That is what I'm all about. They connect to multiple devices and switch seamlessly, no hassle. Great life on the battery. 8 hours on the earbuds, 36 hours on the case. I love these earbuds. We have them and they're awesome. We've been wearing them. We'll wear them on the road too while we're traveling. They're great at the airport. They are terrific, and you can get them right now too. The Essential Open Earbuds are here for the holiday season, and they're selling fast. Raycon audio products are up to 20% off this holiday season, so go to buyraycon.com/CrimeInSportsOpen to save on Raycon audio products site-wide. Order by December 15th, and you guarantee delivery by Christmas because great gifts shouldn't show up late. So Billy had an appearance to make in Terre Haute, Indiana on December 9th. He planned to fly there, then continue on to California to see his mom. He had to be back by December 15th when Jill had planned a lavish black tie Christmas party at the Fenton house.
Really?
I wonder if they're inviting all the farmers over.
Is
this Mickey Mantle and Whitey Ford or just farmers? In Terre Haute on Saturday, December 9th, Billy spoke at a sports function benefiting Indiana State University, where Larry Bird had been a basketball star. The appearance went well, and afterward, Billy went to the sports bar in Larry Bird's Boston Connection Hotel where he was staying. He was seated at the bar and minding his own business, and a gunshot suddenly rang out behind him. A bullet hissed by his head, missing him by inches. Holy shit. It slammed into the ceiling above the bar. A female patron who had been seated at a table near the bar had a two-shot Derringer pistol in her purse that discharged when the purse was inadvertently knocked to the floor.
Yeah.
He almost got killed by accident. After all these people have tried to kill him on purpose.
He doesn't carry a gun, and somebody's got a gun around?
I guess so. He's in Terre Haute doing a benefit.
Everybody's got a two-shot Derringer there.
Yeah. Then he turned around and he punched the shit out of that lady. He really knocked her to the floor. The police chief said Mr. Martin was a little bit shaken. It just missed his head.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll do it. That'll shake you up a little bit.
Yeah.
That's all in the paper, too, that the bullet struck above the bar, and the woman said she was sorry. I mean, she apologized. No arrests were made.
Sure.
And the police did not release the gun owner's name. Wow. The pistol was properly registered, investigators said. Yeah, I guess what are you going to do?
Yeah,
So when Billy went back to his hotel room about an hour later, there was a message from Jill. His mother was doing much worse. Billy had better hurry to Berkeley. He arrived the next day, rushed to the hospital, and found his mother infirm and frail and all but motionless under the white sheets of the hospital bed. They conversed and held hands. Billy told Jenny that he loved her and that she said the same, adding that he looked handsome. Jenny dozed off, and after about 15 minutes, Billy left the room. An hour later, she died. So he made it. Good for Billy. I mean, he didn't, that would have sucked if he was in a Terre Haute bar while his mother died. So Billy was overcome with grief, inconsolably so at times. He had seen his mother little in the past 6 months, and that absence weighed on his mind and filled him with guilt. He had felt prepared for her death, but the certainty of it had been a greater emotional blow than he had planned. Losing a parent is wrenching for any son or daughter, but as Billy kept telling everyone he saw in the old neighborhood, as the lone biological parent in his life, Jenny had been his guiding force. When Billy doubted himself as a youngster, as he often did, Jenny emboldened him. Take shit from nobody might not have been the motto for his life, but it was a useful thought in many tight situations, and it came from Jenny.
Yeah.
Jenny had been the sole connection to a singular heritage that made Billy different from his brothers and sisters. To be sure, Jack Downey had been a meaningful, pivotal father figure, and his siblings had helped shape his life as well, but he derived much of his purpose, resolve, and personality from his mother. Billy, as he told one and all, felt something within himself die with Jenny. He was alone now. A boyhood pal of his said he was really in rough shape. He kept saying, "I'll never be the same." Jill flew from New York to California and joined Billy. She said his mental status was in the gutter. I've never seen him so low and devastated. Billy's family had a big reception at Spenger's, the sprawling fish house by the docks where back in the 1930s, workers used to leave crabs out by the back door for the local children to, quote, steal. Everyone from the old neighborhood was there. We talked about that in part one. I was sitting at a table with my brother Nick, and Billy came over crying, said cousin Mario. He smelled of alcohol, but I understood. His mother had just died, but he was also pissed off. There'd been some argument with his sisters or brother or something about money and who was going to get Jenny's house. There was indeed bad blood on the eve of the funeral, the book goes on to say, and some of it involved the house and the money spent on it. Billy and his sisters remained at odds until a truce was called. Mario said, I felt sorry for Billy in the middle of all this. I got up to hug him, and I was shocked at how bony and small he felt. Hugging him through his suit jacket, he felt frail and thin. Billy was always a wiry, strong guy. I don't know what it was about that hug, but to me he felt so fragile. When he walked away, I turned to my brother and said, what's happened to Billy?
Yeah.
Fucking wrong with Billy. The night before the funeral in Berkeley, Reedy, Billy, Eddie Sapir, and Billy Joe, his son, got together for a quiet drink away from everywhere else. Billy Joe said, I pulled out my diploma and I showed my dad. He just broke down and cried. Then he started pacing around and he said, things are going to change. Billy also spent a considerable amount of time with Kellyanne, his daughter. He frequently said how much he missed California and wished he had spent more time there.
Sure.
And Billy went down to San Pablo Avenue to visit some of his old drinking haunts and met up with what was left of the West Berkeley boys. Everyone was older and not in fighting shape. These are a bunch of drunks in their 60s now, so... One of Billy's teenage friends, Jack Setzer, said, I remember somebody told Billy that most of us hadn't been in a fight for 40 years, but Billy had more than carried on the West Berkeley boys' tradition for us. He got a big kick out of that. I remember that at some point we sang the school song. We were a bunch of 60-year-old guys singing an old song in the old neighborhood. Billy then drove north on San Pablo Avenue to catch up with Fagone, visiting him at his office of his prosperous company. Fagone said Billy told him he was going to leave Jill, sell the New York farm, and come back home.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. He told me he might need $100,000 to rebuild his life in California. Fagone said I told him I'd give him the money.
Uh-huh.
Billy told Reedy of his moving plans, too. Reedy didn't believe him, though. He had heard it before. He was resigned to the notion that Billy would never leave Jill. Reedy knew that Billy had an aversion to Christmas. Weird.
What?
I don't get that at all. Billy seems like he'd be the most Christmas. He seems like he'd be the guy wearing a Santa hat with a drink in his hand. You know what I mean?
With something real fucking strong, too. Yeah.
Oh, eggnog that you can smell from across the room. Flammable
Splash
eggnog.
Of eggnog. Very little eggnog. Just
it's
enough
flammable
for the yellow.
eggnog. Yeah, just for the color.
Just to make it a smidge yellow. Yeah.
Wearing a sweater and a Christmas and a Santa hat, I can 100% see that. Handing out 50s to the fucking bartenders and shit.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, everybody. I love Christmas. Everybody's always so happy. Ain't it great?
Newborn king.
They even like the little Dago around Christmas, boy. I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
Oh, so
singing Dominic the Donkey.
Oh, the Italian Christmas donkey. The Italian Christmas donkey. So it went back to Billy's childhood when he received few gifts in a poor household.
Yeah.
Well, now you can love Christmas.
Yeah.
That's what I do. My house is insane. How is it decorated? It's fucking nuts. We're like Clark Griswold over here because Christmas wasn't like that as a kid. So that's fun. I mean, they were fine, but they weren't like extravagant or anything. So he didn't like it. Billy never warmed to Christmas, even when he had the money to enjoy it. Reedy knew of Billy's mindset and said he felt sorry for his grieving friend, but wasn't sure what his wife's reaction would be to the trip. Then Billy suggested that the visit to Fenton could include a trip to Manhattan, where the couples could attend Christmas Eve Mass at St. Patrick's Cathedral. It would be a spectacular sight with all the holiday flowers and decorations. This convinced Reedy, who knew his wife had never seen St. Patrick's Cathedral, he would come to upstate New York for Christmas.
Sure.
Jenny was buried with a traditional Italian funeral and a solemn prayer service. The gathering included some of Billy's former Oakland Oaks teammates and former players, and the ex-Oakland A's pitcher Mike Norris, and even Heather Ervelino, his ex-wife, attended.
Sure, why not?
So the Reedys arrived in Fenton on December 23rd. The same day, Billy and Reedy made a trip to Lowe's, the home improvement store on Front Street. From Lowe's, it was a short trip to the nearby bars. They drank for a few hours, then drove one exit east on Route 88 until they began their ascent to Potter Hill Road. Billy cooked dinner and started a blaze in the fireplace. Both women retired early, especially Jill, who felt as if she might be getting a cold. Billy and Reedy sat up a few extra hours watching a Western movie and drinking. But it was not an especially late night. Everyone was anticipating the trip to Manhattan the next day. Okay. Jill, however, awoke the next day seriously ill from what she felt was a powerful case of the flu. She had a high fever and was bedridden and much too sick to travel to New York. Billy was certainly not going to leave her alone on Christmas Eve. The trip to St. Patrick's Cathedral was called off. Now, if you came all the way here from California for this and you're like, now I'm sitting in a farm, great. Disappointed but accepting, the Reedys did some last-minute Christmas shopping. Billy called around to friends he made in the area to invite about a dozen or so people to the house for a small Christmas Eve party and feast. With my half-dead wife in there, don't mind her.
Right.
When the crowd left, Reedy and Billy sat up late watching television again. On Christmas morning, Jill was still sick but improving. Billy made everyone a hearty breakfast of eggs, bacon, and pork chops. Jesus, not enough.
Eggs, bacon, pork chops.
Not enough pork for you. Here's a chop also on top of that.
I'm also going to murk the entire farm.
Wow. Holy shit. Yeah, there's some horse meat in the grill right now. There was some more puttering around the farm to do, feeding the chickens, sheep, and other animals, including the ducks down by the pond, which had an aerator so it didn't freeze. That's nice. Jesus.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Like some of the other farmers in the neighborhood, Billy had begun to raise his own quail. Well, he did so in a brooder, which was like a miniature chicken coop. It was out by the barn, but on cold nights in central New York, and this might be the temperature, and this night the temperature was expected to be in the low 20s, the brooder was warmed by a kerosene heater. About 1:30 p.m., Billy came back to the main house and announced that he had to go to Binghamton to get kerosene for the quail brooder.
Right.
Which may or may not have been true. Okay.
He might be looking for booze. We don't know.
Yep. Whenever they were together, Billy and Reedy always seemed to need to go to town for something. It didn't matter whether they were in Reedy's hometown of Detroit or in Texas, Manhattan, or Oakland. They usually had to go get something. The errand always took at least a couple of hours, and they always came back with alcohol on their breath. Mm-hmm. Oh, boy, man, we are out of ice again. Jesus. Billy grabbed the keys to the Ford, and the two men buttoned their coats and headed out the door. Through a second-floor window, Jill watched the pickup truck roll down the gravel driveway and disappear through the stone entrance with the iron gates. Billy was at the wheel, and he made a right turn to continue down the steep grade of Potter Hill Road. Mm-hmm. There was a storm in the weather forecast, and it was expected to bring either gusty snow showers or freezing rain. Okay, it was about 10 miles from Billy's home to the Front Street Highway exit in Binghamton. Billy's usual stop, the Working Man's gas station, was out of kerosene. Billy instead went to the Sunoco down the road, made his purchase, and loaded the kerosene into the bed of the truck. Then Billy and Reedy pointed the truck south on Front Street, looking for somewhere to get a drink.
Yeah.
Can't go home, empty-livered. You got to got to put something in there.
Yeah.
Not surprisingly, most of his usual stops were closed for Christmas. It's Christmas Day, literally.
Oh, my.
But sad, there is going to be a bar or two open because somebody's going to be sad and lonely.
I need the brooder. I need the brooder fuel.
I got to fuel the brooder.
But it's probably because this storm is coming, and if he doesn't get it, the quail are going to die.
They're going to die out there. It's, he has no choice, this man.
I got to go for a ride.
I got to go get a drink. As the truck approached Maury's, the lettering on a display outside the restaurant read, "Happy Holidays, sirloin dinner from 1 to 6 p.m. Okay. Christmas dinner you can go get. Reedy, who gave multiple interviews about this day in 2009, said Billy pointed at the sign and said, quote, "They have a bar, and if they're serving dinner, they're serving drinks. We can get a few pops there. Bet your goddamn ass." Billy pulled into the Maury's parking lot. They sat side by side at the bar, and each ordered a screwdriver. Mm-hmm. After one drink, Reedy switched to Budweiser. Billy continued to gulp mixed drinks with Stoli vodka. That's what he's drinking. The bartender was Robert Dunlop, who worked at Maury's only part-time. His real job was at Johnny Antonelli's Firestone store just up the road. Antonelli, a former pitcher for the New York Giants in the 1950s, was an acquaintance of Billy's since they had played in the same city for many years. After Antonelli retired from baseball in '62, he returned to his native Rochester, about 130 miles away, and opened a chain of tire stores throughout upstate New York.
Really?
But on this day, Dunlop, and he works at a tire place.
Tires.
That's that weird?
It's got to be his family, right?
That's wild. No, he's not the guy who owns it. He's the bartender.
Oh.
He just works at a tire place owned by Johnny Antonelli, who has nothing to do with, isn't that weird?
Him and the other guy, Pirelli, putting
Johnny
tires
Firestone
on.
works there, too.
Wild.
On this day, Dunlop was working the Christmas afternoon shift, and he later said that he served Reedy about 5 beers across the nearly 3 hours that the two men were at Maury's. Mm-hmm. I'm going to get some kerosene. 4.5 hours later, you come home.
That's a long ride.
Wow, everyone was out of kerosene, let me tell you. Billy had several mixed drinks. Dunlop did not know how many, but enough that the barkeep was concerned about whether Billy would be driving home.
Sure.
There were not a lot of employees in Maury's that afternoon. Lisa Tierno was the waitress along with the owners, Morris and Dorothy Conroe, who opened the restaurant in 1966. In the course of the 3 hours, only 4 people came in to drink at the bar. 4 other people besides those 2 anyway. Yeah. A bartender from another Front Street restaurant stopped in for 1 drink, waved goodbye to his friend Billy, and left. A local golf pro had a couple of drinks, chatting about golf with Billy and Reedy. A car salesman made conversation with Billy and Reedy for about 30 minutes before he departed. So everyone's stopping in for like either a post-family drink or, I got to gird up the loins for another
for the
rest
family,
of the day on my family. Yeah. One
Prepare
of the 2.
or relieve. Either way, we're dealing with stress in here.
Quickie drink. Say hello.
Yeah.
That makes sense. A man who had tried to go hunting but was frustrated by the snow on the ground sat at the opposite end of the bar from Billy and Reedy. He had a puppy in his lap.
Yeah.
He talked with Billy about hunting in the area, then paid his bill and exited as well. So no one's making a day of it except these 2.
Right.
Billy and Reedy were alone in the bar for about 90 minutes. Reedy said Billy did most of the talking. He went on to say he was still hurting about his mother, but he wasn't completely down because he was also looking forward to the next year. Yeah. He was then talking about how he couldn't wait for spring training to start. He held his glass up and toasted, 2 months to Fort Lauderdale, pard. Like, we're almost there.
We're almost done.
The sun was setting when Billy and Reedy finally pushed back from the bar, so that time that's going to be about early 4s, 4:15-ish we're talking in the afternoon. Pushed back from the bar to head home. A light snow and a swirling wind had begun to fall about an hour earlier. "Who's driving?" Dunlop asked the bartender. Reedy held up his hand with the keys to the Ford pickup and shook them. Dunlop was relieved. 5 beers over 3 hours beats whatever Billy's been drinking. Reedy, he thought, seemed sober enough to drive. Billy did not. For years afterward, there had been uncertainty about who actually drove home that evening because at the crash scene, Reedy admitted he was driving, then recanted his story about 5 hours later. Reedy said that initially he was covering for his friend, knowing that a drunk driving conviction would be devastating to Billy's image and upcoming managerial prospects. Besides, Reedy felt like he could pass a breathalyzer test. And by the way, the cops didn't think so. Later, facing possible vehicular manslaughter charges, Reedy changed his story and insisted he was now telling the truth. There were 2 subsequent court cases in the years to come that were meant to unequivocally establish whether Reedy was driving. Testimony went on for weeks. Reams of forensic evidence was presented, and lawyers for and against Reedy argued before judges and juries. At stake was not only Reedy's criminal culpability in the accident, but later a large monetary award to Jill Martin and a wrongful death civil claim against Reedy's insurance company, the Ford Leasing Company, and the town of Fenton for improperly maintaining the road. It's snowing on Christmas Day.
What are you going to do?
Shut up.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the investigation into the accident was bungled, and some pertinent evidence was never gathered. Presaging the O.J. Simpson murder trial, which happened about 5 years later, there was even a mysterious glove found at the scene that could have been pivotal but never factored into the case. In the end, there was room for debate on both sides. But after a lengthy trial with lawyers sparring for and against Reedy, a jury of 8 men and women found that Reedy was the driver and that he was impaired with a blood alcohol level of 0.10, which is the minimum necessary for a drunken driving arrest at the time in New York. He was fined $350 and his license was suspended. Other charges were not pursued.
Wow.
The verdict was crucial to finding Reedy liable for the crash in the succeeding civil case. Again, forensic evidence could be constructed to put Billy in the passenger seat or the driver's seat. It depended on your interpretation or motives.
Yeah.
But the fact is that a second court found that Billy was a passenger. Billy was known to be stubborn about not yielding his keys. Eddie Sapier said, "I saw him bold-legged, shit-faced drunk and refused to give me the keys."
Is that right?
But other friends, family, and associates said there were cases when Billy did let others drive, and he had already been driven home from Front Street bars at least twice by other patrons.
Okay.
One regular Front Street bar patron said in 1990 that he had run into Reedy during one of his court cases that year, and that Reedy had admitted that he was driving. Billy had fallen asleep for parts of the drive home, Reedy said. Many of those closest to Billy, Sapir, Mickey Mantle, Billy Joe Martin, believed that Reedy was the passenger. So even though Billy's their best friend, they go, we know Billy.
Yeah.
I know my dad. He's driving probably. They came to that opinion principally because of their faith in Bill Reedy's reliability, character, and integrity. Billy was well-liked by most everybody who knew him, a round-faced man who put everyone at ease. Billy Joe said, if Bill Reedy said he wasn't driving, then I believe him. Mm-hmm. But those are the rare voices that put the steering wheel in Billy's hands that evening. Overwhelmingly, the bulk of the evidence, most notably the position of the bodies after the crash, Reedy closest to the steering wheel, Billy against the passenger side door, seems to indicate that Reedy was the driver. It is far more likely conclusion why the jury thought so too. It's a conclusion supported by Reedy's admission at the scene, which he made repeatedly over several hours to emergency workers, police, and doctors at the hospital. It's supported by most of the testimony, and it's supported by the most convincing and indisputable proof of the evening. Reedy had the keys in his hands as he left Maury's. He could not have gained possession of those keys unless Billy handed them to him or agreed that he should take them.
Right.
So why would Billy take them back? But I could honestly see him on the way out going, you know what? Now that I'm up, I feel fine. You could see that too. Very easy. So the path of the truck after exiting Maury's parking lot also suggests that the driver was not overly familiar with the route, because one known truth is that Billy's Ford pickup truck missed the first exit off the highway that would have brought the two men home on the most direct and safest route. But instead of leaving the highway at exit 3, which would have led the pickup truck up Ballyhack Road onto the foot of Potter Hill Road, the pickup sped through the blowing snow to exit 4. So Billy probably wouldn't have missed his exit.
Right. So
Billy,
somebody else driving might have.
They might have. He might say, that's the exit you had to take, man.
Shit, you dumb
it.
shit. That was where you get to my house.
Yeah. But if you're driving, if you've come from here many times drunk, you're on autopilot. You know where your turn is, and you just do it. You could get home and not even if you're dead sober.
Yeah.
Sometimes if you drive home, try to remember the drive home.
Oh.
You don't remember it a lot of times. You're like, I don't remember the last 15 minutes.
If you're sleepy going to work at 6 a.m., you'll forget.
Your body will just
take
you there.
Your body just does it. Just gets you to work. And you're like,
it gets in, it turns the key, it goes. It knows what to do. It knows how not to get fired.
Yeah.
So they said there was a pivotal difference in the routes. From exit 3, the usual route, the truck would have climbed the precipitous grade of Potter Hill Road, and because of that mile-long uphill path, the truck would have had to slow to almost a stop before making a left turn into the driveway of the farmhouse. From exit 4, the truck was forced to follow a path that eventually brought the truck to the opposite end of Potter Road, arriving at the peak of a treacherous rise. That required the truck to make a sharp downhill 90-degree left turn about 100 feet, a quick right turn into the driveway, after about 100 feet, and then a quick right turn into the driveway. Mm-hmm. Exit 4 off Interstate 88 first led Billy's pickup truck to Pleasant Hill Road, which then feeds into Hunt Hill Road. Unlit and barely 2 lanes, Hunt Hill Road travels northward and uphill for almost its entire length. These small upstate New York back roads are so fucking tiny that when cars come, you have to both slow and kind of both hit the shoulders there. So it's 4 miles, traverses dips and hollows as Hunt Hill Road passes hundreds of acres of farmland, rows of massive pine trees, wide open fields, the occasional horse farm. Running parallel to the road is a drainage ditch 5 feet deep in some sections. At various points along the road, the drop from the paved road to the grassy ditch is guarded by guardrails.
Oh.
Finally, at the top of Hunt Hill Road, the tree line recedes to reveal a striking vista to the west. At roughly 5:45 p.m. on December 25th, 1989, the view was obscured by night and the landscape had become both dark and forbidding with snow gusting across the glazed road. The left turn onto Potter Hill Road, which was tricky even in good weather, they said the pavement at that section of the road slants dramatically to the right, pulling any moving object away from the left-hand turn. The slope of the road is by design and helps water run into the drainage ditch.
Yeah. That's how it goes.
Okay. As Billy's neighbor Betty Jenks said, we've had a lot of people's cars in that ditch by the corner. We call the police and they come fish them out. Mm-hmm. This is common, apparently. Yep. There's another one in the ditch there. There had been periodic calls for the town to fill the ditch and at the bend of Potter Hill Road with gravel, soil, or some other material.
But they can't because that's the drainage. That's how it goes.
But the ditch remained as it had been for decades. Well, if you fill it with gravel, it's like a French drain at that point.
I suppose, it could that's percolate down in there, but it'd have to be big chunks of gravel. It can't just be regular-ass gravel.
It's better than people constantly crashing into it. That seems.
Is it?
I mean, yeah.
Funny.
Not if you're paying taxes for these guys to keep coming out there and pulling people out.
Yeah, it's not so funny when you lose fucking people. They die in it.
So as police reconstructed the accident later from skid marks and tire tracks, the truck was moving at about 30 miles an hour, which was generally thought to be too fast for the icy, slick conditions, for the snow. Yeah. As the truck slid sideways and failed to negotiate the turn, the passenger side of the vehicle plunged into the ditch. But the truck apparently did not slow, perhaps because Reedy tried to get back onto the road by turning the steering wheel left and gunning it.
Yeah.
He was like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
But instead of climbing the steep embankment, the truck lurched violently forward for about 50 feet, then slammed into the immovable concrete culvert.
Oh, fuck.
And 4-foot thick metal drainage pipe that spanned the ditch and formed the beginning of the farmhouse driveway.
Oh, no.
The hood of the pickup truck buckled on impact. The windshield was smashed. It propelled toward the front bumper by the blunt force of Billy's head striking it.
Oh, dear Lord.
Yep. The engine, now partially exposed, stopped but remained warm, the falling snow melting on contact with it. Billy had recoiled from the impact with the windshield and was slumped against the passenger side door, motionless and silent. His neck was awkwardly tilted forward. Reedy was lying on top of him, his hip broken and his legs wedged under the misshapen dashboard. Mm-hmm. Yikes. Neither man had been wearing a seatbelt. Grabbing the steering wheel with his left hand, Reedy pulled himself partially off his friend. "Billy, you okay?" Reedy called out. "Billy!" There was no response. "Billy," Reedy said, "if you can get up, I can push out the window." There was silence. Shortly thereafter, Peter Pirch, a neighbor, drove past and saw the wreck. When he approached the truck, Reedy asked him to pull him so that he was no longer leaning on Billy, because he can't get off of him, basically. Yeah. Opening the driver's side door, this guy, Peach, the neighbor, grabbed the heavy-set Reedy by the lapels of his jacket and yanked him toward him. Wow, that's some farm strength there.
Yeah.
When the members of the Port Crane Volunteer Fire Department arrived minutes later, a neighbor had heard the crash and called. Chief John Eldred said that he thought Billy looked dead. Reedy was pinned in the truck, but another fireman said he thought he felt a pulse on Billy. Through the passenger side door, Eldred grabbed Billy in a bear hug and pulled him out of the truck before passing him to another firefighter, who passed Billy along to another fireman. Oh, Jesus.
Oh, my God.
They're passing him along like a baby, who laid Billy on a long, straight board on the ground. It was not exactly the safest way to extricate a passenger suspected of a head or neck injury, but they had no choice. It was either that or leave him in the truck for the rest of the night.
Chancing, paralyzing this man forever.
Yeah, an ambulance was minutes from the scene when another Port Crane fireman pushed the intercom button next to the iron gates in the front of the driveway. The intercom was set up so that my phone would ring, Jill said. This was right outside his house. This was outside his driveway.
Wow.
This is literally, if I crashed into one of the
500 feet,
one of the things in front of mine with the big concrete, that if I crashed into one of those coming in, that's what it was. Yeah. She was upstairs in the master suite and had been in and out of bed all day, still recovering from the flu. There was a turkey in the oven. Something was wrong with the heating system, and the house was colder than normal. Jill was under the covers of her bed. Carol Reedy was in the guest bedroom down the hall. Jill said it was bitter cold. It was a bitter cold day outside, and it was kind of cold inside the house. It was dark and nasty outside. It had all the elements. Until an interview for this book, Jill has never publicly talked in extensive detail about the accident and the immediate aftermath.
Really?
Seated in a gazebo at her horse farm in the summer of 2013, when asked about the accident and her memories of it, she answered with a 5-minute-long monologue. Rarely pausing, she explained the scene, her words tumbling forward from one recollection to the next in chronological order. Her tone was mournful but detached, probably a byproduct of nearly 25 years that had passed. She said, I was reading in our bedroom upstairs, a mystery book. There had been an accident in the book, and someone in the book had to go get help, and that's when my phone rang. I've always thought that was so odd, just a premonition. On the phone, someone said to me there was an accident out in front of my driveway and that I needed to come out right away. I threw on a pair of sweats and drove our other Ford vehicle down the driveway, and it was just flashing lights and people scurrying around. It was dark and hard to see. This big burly guy, a fire department guy, said I couldn't go down where the accident was. Jill could see the smashed front end of Billy's pickup truck. Mm-hmm. She screamed and cursed at the fireman, pushing past him as she ran through the iron gates. She said, quote, I saw Billy lying there, and I knelt down on the snow next to him and tried to communicate with him. I held his head in my hands. His eyes were kind of in the back of his head. He wasn't responding, but I told him that I loved him and that we had so much more to live for. I told him to hold on. I said, Billy, stay here. Don't go. There's a world out there for us to live. You have everything to live for. Billy was limp and lifeless. Carol Reedy, who had hustled down the driveway, thought he looked like he was asleep. Mm-hmm. The wind was whipping as she ran to the truck where she saw her husband under a blanket, still trapped by the dashboard. The situation was harrowing, with emergency workers trying to revive Billy, eager to get a response of any kind. Jill said, but that wasn't happening. It was looking pretty bleak. The snow was falling more heavily. We were obviously losing Billy. The ambulance was getting ready to take Billy to the hospital, but suddenly they got a pulse and he was still alive.
Yeah.
Soon, Jill was in the back of the ambulance with Billy, headed for the Wilson Memorial Hospital in nearby Johnson City, New York. They had to pull over a couple times to get his heart started again. What is it, run off the fucking car battery? Why do you have to pull over? Keep going. Hold on, it can't run the car going.
Turn the AC off. God damn it.
Turn the goddamn high beams off. Reg low lights. Let's go.
Running lights only. No headlights.
Are we playing music right now? Seriously? Jesus.
You really need to listen to that?
Come on. God damn it.
You're killing him.
Fuck. They were doing a lot of different things and looked worried. When we arrived at the hospital, they told me to wait in the ambulance and to not come in right away. And I told them I wasn't going to wait in the ambulance.
Yeah.
Ain't happening. Someone directed me into a private room where I waited and waited and waited. At one point, I picked up the phone to use it. The line I got, it was someone from the press, point blank asking questions of someone, and they weren't saying anything. I hung up and waited some more. Reedy was pulled from the truck and driven to the emergency room as well. Doctors were concerned about a nerve and vascular damage in his broken hip and prepared to transfer him to a trauma center in Syracuse, about 70 miles away. Mm-hmm. Local reporters had arrived in the emergency room waiting area, and they were pleading for information. Doctors were dashing in and out of the area, looking both harried and uneasy. No one as famous had ever been seriously injured in the Binghamton region. The mayor was alerted and began to drive to the hospital. What are you going to do?
Right. What are we talking about? The mayor?
Is he a Dr. Mayor? Are you Dr. Mayor or not? Otherwise, stay home.
Has he gone to 8 years of college? Then
apparently so. Yeah. He's a residency. He's done it all. The police chief, the fire chief, and several Catholic priests were contacted, startled on an otherwise sleepy Christmas night by the news that Billy Martin was lying unconscious in the hospital. Jill remained alone in a noiseless room. She paced. Then a doctor whose name Jill never ascertained entered the room. Jill spoke first. Are you coming in here to tell me my husband died? And he said, yes, I am. Mm-hmm. And that was that.
That's
she
it?
Said that was it. He's dead.
Wow.
Jill said she was then asked if she wanted to talk to the reporters who were waiting in the lobby. Mm-hmm. Why the fuck would she want to do that? Of course not.
Yeah.
She declined. She instead asked to see Billy and was led to the bay of the emergency room. She went alongside the gurney and reached for Billy's hand. She said, I had a few minutes with Billy and I talked to him. I felt the blood and warmth rush away from his hand. I stayed another few minutes just talking. I told him I loved him, and I told him that I would take care of everything and that I wouldn't let him down.
Yeah.
So she returned to the private room where she was waiting, and on the way, she asked how she could get an outside phone line to make some calls. Then she called Billy Joe, Kellyanne, and George Steinbrenner in that order.
Yeah.
Not his sister.
No.
Not Eddie Sapir. Not Mickey Mantle. Billy Joe, Kellyanne, George Steinbrenner.
Wow.
In the waiting room, Michael Dahl, a hospital spokesperson, told reporters that Billy had been pronounced dead of head and neck injuries and severe internal injuries at 6:56 p.m. They said the county coroner added that Billy had basically died of a broken neck.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, he fucking punched out a windshield of an 88
head.
Ford. Yeah.
with his fucking head. He also had a compressed spinal column.
Yeah.
Within minutes, the AP and UPI filed dispatches labeled urgent, a designation reserved for major breaking news, because it's Christmas night. It's slow news day, to say the least. The headline was Yankees manager Billy Martin dies in auto accident, which was a revealing slip-up because Billy was not the Yankees manager at the time. Mm-hmm. The news filtered into newsrooms across the country. The timing meant that many evening television newscasts were interrupted with a bulletin, Billy Martin dead at 61. Around the nation, it was the most common way people learned of the accident. Since Billy was still the best-known baseball manager in America, it was a weighty and substantial news. It was delivered by dinnertime news program as the holiday was winding down. Mm-hmm. Ricky Henderson said, I was home and having fun because Christmas is also my birthday. Of course it is.
Yeah.
Ricky's so weird, of course it is, too. There were people over, and we were laughing and having a good time. But then the TV said Billy was dead. I ran over and listened. The room went quiet, and I fell to my knees. I couldn't believe that he was gone. How could that happen? I got up and sat in a chair, but I didn't eat or drink anything for probably a day. I just sat there crying or staring at the TV. Yeah. Everyone went away and just left me sitting there. Jill reached Kellyanne's home, but she wasn't there. Jill instead told the news to Kellyanne's mother and Billy's first wife, Lois. The news spread in California, where there was a haunting disbelief. Less than 2 weeks earlier, Billy'd been shoulder to shoulder with his family and friends, burying his mom. So Jill left a voicemail at Billy Joe's house, but he was at his mother Gretchen's house on Christmas night. Then a friend of Gretchen's called with the news, having been alerted to it on television. Mm-hmm. Gretchen said, I started crying hysterically, and I remember saying, I'll never talk to him again. I was so overcome, I think it's traumatized my son to the point where he did not shed a tear. She said it stunned him until he was in shock. He just said, I have to get to New York right now. But the grief, our grief, his grief was all consuming. Mm-hmm. Billy Joe went to his home where friends began to arrive. Billy Joe said, I may have been stoic at my mom's, but when I got home, I was a mess. In Tampa, Steinbrenner talked with Jill and promised to take care of all the funeral and burial arrangements, and then started calling various Yankees. And he's not doing this fucking Puff Daddy style either. He's actually going to pay for this shit. Yeah. And he's a huge asshole.
Yeah.
And he's still going to pay for it.
Wow.
In a 1990 interview, Steinbrenner said he was at a loss for several moments. George said, it wasn't just my sorrow. I didn't know who to call first. Billy meant so much to so many people, and how many people do I call? I couldn't figure out what to do. Billy touched so many people. Where do I start? There were so many calls to make. One of those calls was Ron Guidry. Guidry said, I told Mr. Steinbrenner that it was the end of an era. We'd move on, but not quite the same. The Yankees would be different. Baseball would be much different. And part of that would be because of what Billy had taught all of us. Trainer Gene Monahan heard from Steinbrenner. He said, I remember the number of times Billy told me he loved me. I remembered his compassion, and I thought he really was like an Old West gunfighter to the end. Those guys always leave us one night without warning, and figured that Billy would go out like that. Just poof, he's gone.
Fascinating.
Willie Randolph got a call from Steinbrenner and said, I was just too upset to talk to anyone. I put my wife on the phone. I couldn't control my emotions. So Lou Piniella was skiing in Vermont.
Willie Randolph just had his wife take the phone call
He
for
said
him?
he broke down. He couldn't do it.
I can't do it. You get all the info.
You tell
later.
him.
Yeah.
Yep. Piniella said there was a snowstorm the next day, so going to New York right then wasn't possible. We went to the local Catholic church and paid the priest to say a mass for Billy, and my whole family sat there remembering Billy. Don Mattingly said, I started telling people about how alive Billy became just before the first pitch of every game. That's a weird way to put that right after he's dead.
Yeah.
Could have said energetic. He could have said any
alive.
other word.
Yeah.
Anticipatory. Yeah. Anything but alive.
Yeah.
That was his moment, pacing up and down in the dugout with his hands in his back pockets. It put a charge in everyone on the team. That was him at his best. But I also thought about the demons that went with him after the game. I thought about the alcohol and about the dangers that go with it. He was so brilliant, but there was a piece of him that was so tragic. Earl Weaver said, I felt like a part of me had died. It hit me like that. It hit me harder than I thought it would. And I also felt bad for baseball. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. Bobby Richardson said, I flash back to the 1950s and how Billy willed those Yankee teams to victory. I remembered the things people didn't know about Billy, like how many times we took a cab on a Sunday morning to church. And I realized that now Billy was with Casey again. So they said that it was just shocking. They said he died on a country road. It just didn't seem like Billy, like that's what happened. I remember this. I was watching TV with my dad on Christmas night because I was with my dad that year because Christmas Eve I go with my mom.
Sure.
So it was Christmas night. We were watching some whatever the fuck was on, and I remember that broke in on the news, and I remember they had a picture of the truck, like of the road and where it was, and I remember just being fucking devastated as a kid.
Yeah.
I was 11. I was gutted. It was bad stuff, man.
Like a young girl seeing the footage of Princess Di's car.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. That's what it was. Or like my cousin when Thurman Munson died. You know what I mean? Like he was telling me that he was so sad and heartbroken.
People survived that, didn't they? The Thurman Munson crash?
Yes. Yeah, I think he was the only one who died.
The only one that died. And the plane's like crazy. On fire.
Yes.
Crazy.
It's fucking insane.
Wild.
So, I don't know. A lot of people said that. Phil Rizzuto said an auto accident? No, none of us saw that coming. Meanwhile, he drank so much, I would say how would crash his car one of these days.
Either say alcohol-induced health problem or car crash.
One of the two. Yeah.
Unless he's getting a ride all the time, which he was getting a ride at this time, too.
Sometimes.
Well, this one, that's the other point. It's like if the truck went down into an embankment and a man's story is I was on top of him in the heap, then he wasn't driving.
How did you switch otherwise?
Yeah. How did you two? Man, that was a crazy tumble then that you two got switched over each other.
Especially when Billy hit the passenger side of the windshield. So that's where he was on impact.
Glass. Right.
That's before they fell.
Right.
So that's where he hit the glass. Then they fell, and the guy was
on
top.
What a crazy crash.
That would have been a crazy crash.
It defied all laws of gravity and physics.
Yes. If you can hit the passenger side windshield with your head from the driver's seat,
side?
That's a crazy accident, boy.
My God, that's a crazy impact.
Oof. Rod Carew said maybe it was finally a place for him to be at peace. He said it was his own quiet time. Wow. He said, instead of being in a big city with noise and bright lights and hoopla, it was somewhere serene and away from all that. I found comfort in that. I like that he left us in a peaceful place. Jesus, Rod.
It is kind of a, even with all the chaos that happened in the car crash, the description of the aftermath is so serene and peaceful. The engine is exposed.
Isn't that nice?
And the snowflakes falling so gently or melting on the hot engine. That's so peaceful. Nice? Well, blood runs down the glass of a broken out 88 Ford.
Well, chunks of glass are picked from Billy's scalp. That's great.
It sounds so peaceful. Like the sound, like you probably could have heard the screeching and then the crash, and then it's just silence.
No shit. That's the snow. That's and he's happy
about
that. Isn't that nice? Isn't that nice?
A light snuffed out. Tick, tick, tick.
Oh, I'm so happy this happened.
It's so peaceful.
Rod Carew, why are you an asshole?
Yeah.
Jill returned to the house on Potter Hill Road on Christmas night where housekeeper Mary Lynch was waiting for her. Jill said, I made a stiff drink and started planning to leave for New York. George said that he would have the funeral there, and I was relieved that he was taking care of that. He was wonderful. People were calling from around the country, from around the world, in fact. They were getting ready to fly to New York from wherever they were. I left a few hours later. I didn't even remember to pack clothes. Lynch stayed behind a while to tidy up. The table had been set for dinner, so she pulled off all the dishes, utensils, and glassware, put it all back in the cabinets, removed the turkey from the oven.
Yeah.
She put water in the base of the 20-foot Christmas tree, fed the animals in the barn, checked the quail brooder, which was warm.
Yeah.
So Billy didn't need kerosene.
He didn't even need the kerosene. God,
didn't need it. So then, before locking the doors and returning home, she took pictures of the farmhouse's first-floor walls, which were lined with memorabilia from Billy's career. She said, Jill wanted me to do that to remember what it looked like that night, but I took extra pictures because that was the stuff Billy wanted to remember about his life. I figured that's what he wanted to remember, then maybe it was a good way for me to remember it.
Yeah.
This is all sorts of shit here. The funeral is huge. There's pictures in the house too. All these pictures. It's pictures of his baseball stuff, and then it's him with Mickey Mantle, fishing with Whitey Ford, hunting with that guy, at dinner with Joe DiMaggio, Frank Sinatra, and Marilyn Monroe.
Wow.
God damn, that's cool. There were pictures of Billy at spring training, arguing with an umpire, all the classics. Yeah. Pictures of his, Sports Illustrated covers, stuff like that.
So wild. To die in 1989, and there's a picture of you with Frank Sinatra and Marilyn Monroe.
And Joe DiMaggio.
That's
fucking awesome. That is so goddamn cool. Those two are still alive at that point, DiMaggio and Sinatra anyway. So Reedy is charged with driving while intoxicated, and they said that it was the .10. So there we go. Lou Piniella said it was shocking, and it makes me sick to my stomach.
Yeah.
Yep. He said, I get the feeling he was looking forward to managing one more time. He didn't mention where or under what circumstances, but I thought he would have enjoyed managing one more time.
Yeah.
No shit. They asked Steinbrenner, was Martin going to be your new manager if Bucky Dent fucked up? Now, obviously now, what's he going to say?
Right.
He said, no way. Of course not. He said he was too happy doing what he was doing. He was coming upstairs. He was going to be there more than ever before. He was enthused about the coming season. In the past, he was hit and miss, but he was going to be working a lot. I must have talked to him 20 times in the last month and a half. He said he saw him last week when they appeared at the Tampa Performing Arts Center in a musical program for underprivileged children. I would love to see George Steinbrenner and Billy Martin doing a duet for underprivileged children.
For children.
Dancing.
Singing for the kids.
Oh, man. It's for the kids. Steinbrenner said he was excited about it. He talked about how when he was a kid at Christmas, he didn't do much. Bucky Dent said he was a winner. He was a winner, and nobody can fault him for that. Mm-hmm. That sounds like something you say about a guy you don't like. You say a good thing, but then say no one can fault him for that, meaning he might be a prick otherwise, but that's fucking funny, man. So here we go. Enter this idiot. Mm-hmm. Okay, here we go. The IRS had attached a lien on Billy's estate for unpaid back taxes in the amount of $86,137.
Okay.
Billy's family in Berkeley was furious that the funeral and burial were taking place in New York, and even more irritated that they hadn't been consulted about that decision. Yeah, Steinbrenner probably should have worked with the family a little bit, at least the kids, or with the wife. And while Billy's body had already been sent to New York City, there was some controversy about that too, and Jill was in the middle of the dispute. The county coroner had initially not requested an autopsy of Billy's body. Bill Reedy said he was the driver. The coroner considered Billy a victim of the accident and as opposed to part of it as its cause, so he saw no reason to further examine Billy. But now Reedy had changed his story, and in light of Reedy's retraction, an autopsy on Billy's body might help prove who the driver was.
Mm-hmm.
A full autopsy would never be performed. Over the next couple of years, there were all kinds of theories as to how and why that came to be. There were reports that Jill had told the doctors at the hospital that she was Jewish and that her religion forbade an autopsy.
Oh.
Well, the law isn't Jewish, and it's going to do an autopsy if it wants one. He's talking about the law is agnostic. Sorry to tell you.
Incredibly.
It should be anyway.
Straight up atheist, really.
Fuck, I would hope so. Other people have said that Steinbrenner interceded and used his influence with state authorities to get Billy's body whisked that night to the Frank E. Campbell Funeral Home on Madison Avenue in Manhattan.
Yeah.
At the heart of the matter, at no time did the upstate authorities ever seem eager to keep Billy's body. In 2013, Jill said she never brought up her religion.
Oh.
She said, my father was of a Jewish heritage, but my mother wasn't Jewish, and we never practiced Judaism. Yeah, and if you know how that works, you're not Jewish at that point unless you convert to Judaism. She said it's just heritage, and I don't know how Billy got to Campbell's funeral home. I just know that he did. Mm-hmm. Before the funeral, a compromise was made, and Billy's body was subjected to what is called a visual autopsy, conducted by a noted New York City medical examiner and pathologist.
Dr. Bodden.
It's fucking Dr. Bodden, Jimmy. You absolutely nailed it. This lying... allegedly.
This guy who accepts money to say what you want him to say.
Allegedly, in court, in my opinion, apparently.
Yeah.
We went over this with an episode of Small Town Murder, and it was egregiously shitty what this guy did. And he's also...
he's done it a lot.
He worked for OJ. He told a courtroom full of people.
Yeah.
That it's totally possible with a severed jugular fucking vein for Ron Goldman to fight for 10 minutes with OJ with a completely severed jugular.
10-minute life or death battle while his jugular is just.
He said, sure, that's possible, which would give the time chance to catch up and it would blah, 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 blah. So
just to make
he basically
the timeline
said,
work out.
That way OJ couldn't have done it because he was already in a limo because he could have. That's what they were basically saying.
He's on his way to an airport by then. Jesus, this guy's fighting for his life while OJ's having champagne.
Fuck yeah. If you have money, he's got forensics for you, basically. So this idiot comes in and does this, and he agreed with the cause of death determined by the Binghamton coroner and concluded that Billy was a passenger, adding that Billy would have lived if he had worn a seatbelt.
Okay.
Probably, and if the other guy did too, because then his fat ass wouldn't have fell on top of him too, which wouldn't that would have just hurt him. Ow, God damn it, get your fat ass off me.
He said that and claimed science is what told him that.
Yeah, say I think I could have told you that. Well, I guess the science is the car wasn't going fast enough to make a seatbelt, to break a seatbelt, or whatever. Who the fuck knows?
Seatbelt.
Duh.
But I mean, you could say a seatbelt probably would have saved
your life. You went to
medical
school for that? Yeah.
Probably the only time that isn't a thing is if the car is inflamed or you're Dale Earnhardt, evidently. Where he was wearing all kinds of restraints and it still snapped his neck.
I got in an accident with my mom when I was a kid. It was a flip and roll.
Yeah.
And neither of us had seatbelts on because it was the 80s.
Yeah.
And my mother's very irresponsible when it comes to shit like that.
Plays it fast and loose on the seatbelts.
And a terrible driver. So you add those two things up on a rainy fall morning with leaves all over the place. And they actually said that if my mother had her seatbelt on, she would have been dead.
Is that right?
The way it went, it actually helped her. And I was like, oh, that's interesting.
If the roof caves in and you're stuck in one place, you're kind of at the mercy of how that roof crumbles.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I had to pull her out. That was bad. So on December 28th, the public was invited to view Billy's body inside the funeral home.
Sure.
So this is like Babe Ruth's funeral. Like they had thousands of people. A line of fans who showed up stretched down Madison Avenue for 2 blocks. Police estimated about 2,500 people showed up for it.
Sure.
The Campbell Funeral Home had been hosting the wakes of prominent New Yorkers since 1898, and its rooms had seen overflowing crowds that arrived in tribute to everyone from Jimmy Cagney to Ed Sullivan to John Lennon. The throng that turned out for Billy was as big as any of the funeral home had ever seen. Billy was laid out in a chapel within the building, his Yankees jersey and Yankees cap nearby. He wore a dark blue suit, pinstripe pink shirt, and multicolored tie. The casket was enveloped in flowers, including one arrangement in the shape of a number 1. 20-minute service, and they said the Reverend Edwin Broderick opened up his eulogy with a line that drew laughter from the crowd. He said, At first blush,
to say I got his cows too.
Yeah. At first blush, this cathedral is undoubtedly the last place you'd expect to find Billy. In other words, he'd be out drinking.
He's an unreligious son of a bitch.
Yeah, and it pissed off his sister though.
Oh?
His sister said, Billy always went to church. That wasn't the right thing to say.
Oh,
it's a fucking joke.
Ma'am.
It's a tension breaker.
Yeah.
That's all.
He shouldn't be dead either.
That's the other thing. Billy's casket, draped in a white cloth, was carried out of the church with his family walking a few steps behind. Billy Joe said, as we got close to the door, I was convulsing in sobs. I felt a little weak and unsteady. At that moment, I felt someone grab my arm. It was Richard Nixon. Now that's if I could have said it was, how many people would you have? How many thousands of names would you have gone through before you reached Tricky Dick? Yeah,
fascinating.
Nixon, and that is not the man I want comforting me at all either. By the way, I don't see that as very comforting. He said to me, "I want you to see all the people that loved your father." He said, as he led me outside, I could see the sea of people in the streets. It was a mass of thousands. President Nixon said, those are all the people your father touched.
Gross.
Some of them inappropriately, but that's okay.
Twice.
Some of them twice. Billy had set up barricades along police had set up barricades along 5th Avenue and 50th Street. A crowd of about 5,000 stood behind the barriers, 10 deep. St. Patrick's Cathedral, built in 1870s of stone and marble, takes up a city block. Billy's mourners had enveloped the entire cathedral block. Wow. More people were waiting on the other side of the street, north of the cathedral. One person said here, I had never seen a New York crowd like that for anything other than a major parade. Mm-hmm. The last time I saw a crowd like that was the ticker tape parade after the 77 championship. So anyway, Billy said he stood there and he said he never forgot that. The day after he died, the Yankees called the cemetery. The cemetery said it had a plot available that was about 30 yards from Babe Ruth's final resting place.
Oh, wow.
They're like, cool. It was a flat spot not far from the cemetery access road with a tree nearby that offered ample shade. That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Billy's funeral procession stopped just below the area. They walked in and, pallbearers and all that. Jill said everybody was kind of leaning on each other. We were bracing against the cold and the sorrow. 10-minute service, very short. It's freezing fucking cold out, too. There's old ladies here and everything. Then the mourners scattered, many of the ball players attending a private reception at Mickey Mantle's restaurant across from Central Park. Jill remained with her family, who had arrived from California, and a day later she returned to Fenton, where she hung out for New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
Andrew Nagel, the associate director of the Trustees of St. Patrick's Cathedral, oversees the Gate of Heaven Cemetery where he's buried. A lifelong Yankees fan who grew up in the South Bronx, Nagel had a steady stream of Yankee fans make their way to Billy's grave every year and have done so nonstop since 1989.
Is that right?
He said his grave gets the same attention year after year. It has never slowed. Sometimes it's a 65-year-old guy showing the grave to his 35-year-old son, and sometimes it's a bunch of out-of-town Yankee fans who come here before they go to a game at Yankee Stadium, but they always drive up here. The attention never stops.
How about that?
And they all take a picture next to the proudest Yankee quote that said he was a, proudest Yankee. Little things, they leave little, gifts and all that kind of shit there and everything like that.
Have a drink with him, shit like that.
Yeah. Little things, little tokens and, shit like that.
It's in New York?
Baseball cards.
He's buried up there?
Yeah. That's where they wanted to bury. That's where the Yankees decided to bury him. He's getting buried next to Babe Ruth. Shut up.
Yeah. That's where George wants him. That's where George gets him.
He's paying for it, I guess. Marty Appel, the Yankees public relations chief and broadcast executive in the 70s and 80s, who spent a lot of time with Billy, said, it was as if alcoholism did not exist back then, certainly not in baseball. Baseball almost encouraged drinking with the long hours after games and all the travel on the road. It was like the manly thing to do. I never once heard anyone say a word about how Billy might need help with his drinking. No one ever said anything to his face either. If Billy was tipsy, and he wouldn't be the only one when that happened, people just smiled and winked. And that's the fucking thing.
Yeah.
Billy, back then, it's not that society, baseball is 30 years behind society.
Yeah.
Sports in general are. Think about how, just culturally conservative, and I don't mean politically conservative, I mean kind of buttoned up sports are when it comes to stuff like that, because they want it to be a family thing.
Sure.
They want it to be for kids.
Yeah.
So everything's kind of 30 years behind with that. That also goes to that. Alcoholism and shit like that is the same thing. Drinking was considered, like in the 80s, NBA guys who did like coke and shit, and they made a big deal out of it. And in baseball, too, they made a big deal out of it. Oh, my God, they need help. They need this. They need that. They're all saying this while on their 12th drink that night. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No one ever thought of that as anything.
Yeah.
There is an FBI file deal on the windshield. The FBI looked into this. I don't know if Steinbrenner made him do it or what.
For what? To see if it was him that went through the windshield?
To see what happened, yeah. So they did an examination of the pickup truck involved in the accident and secured hairs from the left or the driver's side of the windshield. The hairs were submitted to the 2nd New York State Regional Crime Laboratory for analysis and comparison with known hair samples from the occupants of the truck. We were recently informed by the laboratory that due to a backlog in case processing, the New York police would be unable to perform the requested analysis. A copy of the Western Regional Crime Laboratory's result is here. So they asked for it and didn't get it. So that's that. So we don't know what the hell happened. They said, we're too busy, basically.
Yeah.
So from there, there's letters going back and forth. Here's all your evidence back, essentially.
Yeah.
They said that the head hairs, finally they got it examined, though. So the result of this is the head hairs comprising Q1 and Q2 specimens exhibit the same microscopic characteristics as those found in the K2 specimen and accordingly could have originated from William Reedy, the identified source of the K2 hairs. It's noted that the hair comparisons do not constitute a basis for absolute personal identification. The gray head hair found in specimen Q3 is not suitable for microscopic comparisons. So what they're saying is the windshield on the driver's side, because that's what this was about, the driver's side windshield, right?
Yep. Had Reedy's hair over there?
That had Reedy's hair on it.
All right.
So, yes, blah, 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 blah. So, yeah, I believe that is what they're looking at here. Left or the driver's side. So, yeah, it's that. So
he was driving.
Reedy was driving, apparently. So April 24th, 1990, a lot of articles about Billy in the upcoming season and all that kind of thing, and just a ton. So they Billy said about Casey Stengel, I played under the greatest manager that ever lived, Casey Stengel. I learned from him and Charlie Dressen and people I played with as a kid. So that's one of the quotes they put on for Billy because that's what he always said. Yeah. Dave Winfield said he was a battler. He was intense. If you weren't on his good side, he was rough. If you were on his good side, you were the best. He was really driven. He made no excuses, no apologies, and that's the way he lived his life. Again, driven. Mm-hmm. He was driven off a fucking road into a ditch is what he was driven.
Perfect.
Well, perfect. Yeah, great job, guys. So Ricky said it was heartbreak. Just heartbreak. Ricky Henderson seems to be the saddest person here.
He's destroyed about everything always.
In multiple interviews, they're talking about he pokes at his eyes to wipe away the tears that are streaming down his cheeks. Oh. Ricky loved Billy Martin like a father, for Christ's sake. The next year, there's Christmas marks anniversary of Martin's death. Yeah. They have Jill here talking about it, and she's lending her name to a campaign that urges drivers to celebrate and still put safety first. Mm-hmm. Don't get shit-faced and drive home on Christmas, basically.
And don't let your friend drive you home because he's shit-faced, too.
Because he's shit-faced, too. Yeah. And that particular one, I don't know if he was stone-cold sober, if that would have made a difference.
The driver?
Yes.
I mean, he probably would have gone a different way home.
Maybe he wouldn't have, but I think he missed the exit, not because he's drunk, because he doesn't know where he is.
Right, but maybe he was driving faster to get home because he missed that exit. Now he's later.
Possibly.
Maybe now he's in a rush because now he's a few minutes behind. Who knows?
I don't feel like alcohol made the difference either way, though.
Yeah, he's been out 5 hours looking for kerosene. Yeah. Time is not of the essence.
He's got to go home. No, time is not. He was going 30, not 60.
Yeah, right, yeah.
And the way the road went down, if you didn't know to lean to the certain side to make sure not to hit that downward slope, you would do that. So if you didn't know, and he said Billy was nodding off during the trip, so Billy might have been nodding
asleep.
Off. That's what I mean. To tell him, hey, make sure you lean this
way.
Broke
his neck, huh?
That's sad, man.
Jesus.
That is sad. She said that she wants to encourage holiday revelers not to mix drinking and driving. She said it's something I believe in. If I can get someone to ask for help and someone out and help someone out, that's what she wants to do. They're trying to make his anniversary kind of one of those things. Huh. She also said that she's not being, someone else in the program said she's not really being critical of people who drink. She's not saying, look what happened to my husband, let's put these drunks behind bars. Right. She's saying, don't drive.
Yeah, if you're drunk, fucking don't. And today it's the easiest it's ever been.
Yeah, it's, with Uber and everything else.
It's the easiest it's ever been.
You don't even have to talk to a human.
Nope, don't have to say
a word.
Everything
on your phone, climb in, you can just do whatever you want. Mm-hmm. Now, in a 1994 interview, George Steinbrenner, who had then turned baseball operations of the team over to Michael and Showalter and rarely intervened, because by the 90s, he really didn't. He might have yelled at them and stuff, but he didn't do anything himself by then because he had gotten suspended from baseball twice for doing shit like that. So he just backed off. He said, that was my biggest mistake with the Yankees. We really weren't that far out. I probably should have backed off and let things calm down, but it was hard. There's a lot going on. But yes, I've reflected on the move. Letting Billy go then was a mistake. Mm-hmm. Saying then. Here's his grave, by the way. It's pretty fucking awesome. A great tombstone.
Oh, wow. It's one
wide.
guy?
Yep. That's Billy. It says, I may not have been the greatest Yankee to put on the uniform, but I was the proudest.
Yeah.
That is cool
Look
as
how
shit.
wide it is.
It's huge. And that
It's
is
like a fucking billboard.
Commissioned by George Steinbrenner.
Wow, good for you,
obviously.
George. What's Babe's look like? Is it small? It better be bigger than that shit.
Well, back then, who knows how cheap they would have been. They didn't even give
yeah.
people rings back then, for Christ's sake. So, yeah, I was the proudest. Now he's buried at Gate of Heaven Cemetery, which is in Hawthorne. It's in Westchester County, New York. Yeah. Same section as Babe Ruth. You find Babe, you'll see that giant fucking
You
thing.
think he's the kind of the catalyst for people being incredibly proud to be Yankee fans?
No, because the Pride of the Yankees is the name of the Lou Gehrig movie they made in the 40s with Gary Cooper. So it's always been the pride.
The pride of the Yankees, but the pride of
that's where that came from.
They really love it, man.
I think the pride of the Yankees, that pride came from that movie title. I really do. And the pride and Yankee pride and all that shit, I think came from the pride of the Yankees, Lou Gehrig shit. I really do.
It's just a wild thing how that team and those teams, it was stinky or not, stinky or good, whichever way, in the late 70s and early late 60s and through the 70s, it created such a bond with people. Like, Artie Lang has the Yoo-Hoo shirt that Thurman Munson wore under his Yankees jersey every game. He has it. He owns it, and he cried when he got it because it's not even a Yankees shirt.
No,
you know what I mean? But because it's so specific to a person, it's such a big deal.
It's been around a long time, and that logo has been the same since like 1912.
Yeah, they haven't changed it.
You know what I mean? Yeah. They haven't changed it. It's that same logo. It's the pinstripes. And you hear when you go to Yankee Stadium thing, go to like the monuments or all that, and you hear there's Ruth and DiMaggio and Gehrig and fucking, it's DeMantle, and it's just like it's this overwhelming amount of Maris. It's this overwhelming amount of history, and there's also a thing of being a Yankee fan is like the Yankees are a lot like the Cowboys in terms of there's a lot of people that love them and the people that don't love them hate them. There's no.
It's a Raiders.
There's not like nobody cares about the Mariners. Nobody gives a shit.
I mean,
they
people
don't care.
In Seattle.
People in Seattle
care now.
The 800,000 people or whatever that live in Seattle like him. No one else on earth
5 years ago
gives a shit about the Mariners. No, I mean no one else cares. Yeah, now they care. No one else gives two shits for these teams. No one cares about the Brewers except people in Milwaukee. No one cares about these teams. Whereas if they're bad, no one's happy about it. And if they win, people go, "That's nice for them." The Yankees, they hate them when they win. They love it when they lose. So that makes your fans be more insular and fuck you people because it's the same thing if you're a Cowboy fan or.
But it's because of the wins. It's because of the amount of wins and the storied wins. So. If you're not a fan and like run that season with them and I mean it's the same with pretty much every team. But if you love them and they win while you're loving them and you're watching them win, it feels so good because it feels like they're doing it for you. Look what they did for me.
Growing up, they sucked every year. The Mets fans used to make fun of us. Do you understand what it's like to get made fun of by Mets fans? But in the 80s, they were the World Series champs, and we were shit. So we got made fun of by fucking Mets fans.
Yeah,
so
it's the wins, though. When you win,
all people
fucking hate. Look at the fucking Cubs. Everybody rooted for the Cubs. They loved it. Then they won, and everybody like, fuck the Cubs. I'm that way today. Fuck the Cubs.
They still have that lovable thing, though.
I don't know. On my heart, fuck them.
Yeah, but most people still don't mind the Cubs, except for, of course, St. Louis Cardinal fans. But other than that,
and Southside Chicago fans.
Which they should probably reconsider because the White Sox are a disaster. So
I don't know how they're gonna get out of this.
Figure that out.
And the Rockies are the same way. It's so bad. It's almost just sell it, burn it. Don't even sell it. It's not worth anything.
Jesus. Yeah, no shit.
Fuck.
Let it go.
Yeah.
So 20 years after his death, Billy Martin here, Jr., Billy Joe, wondered if his father he just got bored when things were going well.
Really?
He said, he thrived under pressure, but eventually it would get to him and he wanted some quiet. But that wouldn't last long. It was like he missed the tension. He'd do something to bring the pressure back into his life again. And, he said that's he said every kid that he ever met him loved him because he would do his Donald Duck impression and make every kid laugh with that. They loved that shit.
Why was that such a big deal to kids I
don't know. It really was. We did.
We're blown.
In the 60s. In the 60s he was doing that.
Really?
Yeah. He was doing that forever. That was a big deal with it.
There weren't a lot of impressions until the late 80s, I guess, huh?
No, I guess nobody had talent either.
Yeah, so there's that too. But everybody could do a fucking Donald Duck.
Yeah.
You're like, wow, look at that.
So Casey Stengel said of Billy, there ain't nothing he don't think he can do. He thinks he knows more about baseball than anyone else, and it wouldn't surprise me if he was right. Can't get enough of Billy Martin. Well, we got plenty for you. There's tons of you can get a 1957 Billy Martin card for only $15. It's a good-looking card, too. Not bad.
$15.
1954 tops, and it's a little rough shape, but it's fine. $28 or best offer. A 54 Billy. I'm going to get that. That's great.
He's a legend.
Fucking amazing. Yeah, it's in a rough shape. The centering's off on it, too. 1978 Billy Martin card. It's the tops card where it says as player, as manager, and as a black and white picture of him hitting, and then him in his Yankee uniform.
Nice. Yeah.
For $1.
What?
$1. Billy Martin autographed baseball with a certificate of authenticity is $300 buy it now.
Yeah, I don't believe any of those anymore.
I never can. That means we've got. Yep. Yeah, I want a picture of him delivering it.
I need the video. I don't even know if I can see that anymore. I can't trust that shit anymore.
I need him bringing it to me. There you go. So there you go, everybody. Yeah. That is Billy Martin. We hope that you enjoyed this extra long Billy Martin series, but his life was a wild roller coaster, and it's impossible to just kind of buzz through it quickly in 2 hours. So,
I've heard a million stories from people the past several weeks of
people love this.
So thankful for hearing all of this. And my buddy Richie in Florida, he's from New York. This is everything to him. He loves this shit.
It's Billy. Yeah, it's all about it. So
it's the best.
That is Billy Martin, everybody. And I remember this was just very sad. I remember being very sad as a child for this. It was like, no, not Billy. Billy's dead. You thought he was going to be back eventually managing again. It was inevitable. It always happened. So he'd be back. So it was just very fucking sad. And for years and years until we were looking into this, I never knew that there was anybody else in the car. I always thought he was driving himself and he was drunk and crashed into a tree. That's what I always heard.
Wow.
So before this, and I do want to say before we end this show, I have to give a giant fucking, great fucking job.
Well done.
All of the above to Ian, who does research for the show here, and he just went above and beyond the Call of Duty for Billy Martin. Yeah. Really went into every last detail that could possibly be found and just took it to the next level. Thank you so much. And everybody out there, if you love this series, he's a big part of the reason why you loved it. So thank you for doing that. Thank you for being awesome. So that said, head over to whatever app you're listening on and give us 5 stars. It helps a ton. Definitely do that. Also follow on social media at Small Town Murder. Crime and Sports is where we're doing now. At Crime, follow Small Town Murder too while you're there. Why not? Do that. And while you're doing that, get yourself Patreon.
Yeah.
Get Patreon. Also, first before that, head to shutupandgivememurder.com. Get your merchandise. Get tickets for all the Small Town Murder live shows and the One Your Stupid Opinions live show as well. Shutupandgivememurder.com. Then patreon.com/crimeinsports is where you get all the bonus material, and there's a ton. It's super easy. Anybody $5 a month or above. It's a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
Literally a cup of coffee. You're going to get so much for that money. We're so thankful for anybody that gives us a penny.
It's unbelievable.
That if you're giving us $5, we feel like we just owe you everything. Yeah. So you're going to get immediately upon subscription hundreds of back episodes of bonus stuff that you've never heard before. Then new ones every other week. One Crime and Sports, one Small Town Murder, and you get them all. Yeah. Right now for Small Town Murder, we're doing a Charles Starkweather thing, so you're going to get that right away. So get in on that. Then you get, in addition to that, all the shows we put out, Crime and Sports, Your Stupid Opinions, and both Small Town Murder episodes, all ad-free as well.
Ad-free? What else can we give you? Diddy's been hoarding our jizz.
I know. I know what else we could give him, Jimmy.
What is that?
A shout out.
All right.
Which is right now. Jimmy, hit me with the names of the people who would never, ever, ever offer to drive us home, even though they were just as drunk as us. Yeah. Hit me with them right fucking now.
This week's executive producer, Gary Howard in Seminole, Oklahoma.
Ooh,
yikes.
Gary. Good luck.
Jared Marnin, Jennifer Sierpial. Sierpial?
Oh.
I don't know. It's
sure.
It's not English. It's something else. Reese Probin. He's down the Cape, and he knows a bunch of crazy murders up there.
Great. Send them forward.
We'll hear some more about it. Other producers this week, Peyton Meadows, Yukon Cornelius, Kelly Thirsk. Merry Christmas, Yukon. Georgia Liptak. Ryan Bender, Happy Hour, checking in Bliss, Idaho.
Oh.
Anything but Bliss, it sounds like. Janice Hill, SM Maynor, Jennifer Harmon, Trisha Barridge Watts, Flounder with no last name, Bailey Herndon, Peregrine Ruscaria.
Thank you to Janice Hill, by the way. Hear Janice Hill every goddamn week.
She's been doing this for
so much.
8 years, too, Janice Hill.
And all I hear is, Rossi, 4R, every time.
You're the best, Janice.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Honestly, sorry to interrupt you.
Aaron's son, Megan Cook, Sanaa with no last name, Lauren with no last name, Arlene with no last name, Dan Johnson, Declan Roulette, Stephen Rash, RR, Robin, nope, that's Rob Klingler. Oh boy.
Klingler.
Ho Juliano. That's Joe Giuliano. Subab Skura. Subab Skura? What is that?
Subab, the sexiest of the White family.
Subab with the titties.
Thank you, Subab. Get on that trampoline. Keep yourself in shape now.
Darlene Costello. Corey Moore. Danielle. Or it's Daniil. I don't know.
You never know these days. It could be
Stasia. Curtis Black, Christopher Quinn, Tim with no last name, Jay Kaufman, Adina Smith, Melissa Tenorio Wainwood, Adam Scott, Adam, ATOM, not that other guy that's a genius.
To split.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Samantha Rawlings, April Gordon, AQ, Latoya Wendelbo, Jarena Silva, Andy Denton, Stuart Everett, Sydney Josephiak, Josefiak, K with no last name.
Soviak.
The letter K, the guy from Men in Black, K.
Oh, nice. K. Thank you, James Earl Jones. Not Tommy Lee Jones. Did I say James Earl Jones?
James Earl Jones is... As the Men in Black would be.
Those are very opposite.
We would be in a lot of trouble.
Jones.
It's a slow man.
Plus, it'd be weird if Darth Vader was in Men in Black.
Hey, he is in black.
That'd be the weirdest thing in the world. So strange.
James Earl Jones does wear black. And so, wait, is that the one we're talking about?
Yeah, James Earl. I think we got lost.
Which
there.
Earl Jones is it?
It's Tommy Lee Jones.
There he is, Tommy Lee. Yeah. Not Tommy Earl.
Not James Earl. No, Tommy Earl's a totally different guy.
Tommy Earl Jones is just in jail in Texas somewhere.
If James Earl Jones fucked Tommy Lee Jones, you'd have Tommy Earl Jones. It's not good.
And he's a bank robber from 1780.
Yeah, absolutely.
Samuel Beck, Alberta Crowley, Connor Sawickley, Savannah Scafferty, Samantha Siwak. What is this? Maria Saiz, Sampson, Moni Penny, really.
Moni.
Chad Little, KT, Jay with no last name, Joel Rickett, Sharon Robson, Nate Seymour, Dan Bidet, Erica Miller, Stephanie Pafal. It's probably just fall. Robin McGivern, Jeannie Patch.
Superfluous P.
Yeah, it's an extra P for no goddamn reason. Shannon with no last name. Ben Swanson. Holton with no last name. Kim Stahi. JKS. All right. Jeff Carter. JK is the first name. S is the last name. Ashley Grosso. Cameron Fogel. Lisa Kurzakawa. Lauren Coleman. Jana Boner what?
Boner what now?
Boner Fiend. Boner Fiend is the Boner Fiend. Boner Fiend. I don't know. She's a fiend for him.
To each his own, or her own.
She itches for it. Crystal Taylor. the Eric Spoelstra. I fucking doubt it.
Maybe.
But that would be amazing. Jackie with no last name.
Welcome.
Hayden Ritter. Heidi Parrott. Sierra Groves. Courtside, Eric, if you can handle it. Charissa with no last name. Sierra Groves, I said that. Daniel White, Guy Ron, Megan Tague Johnson, Carrie Sampson, Sansum. Oh, boy. Autumn Allen, Jason Laborda, Ray Harris, Roger Lynn, Robin Nuttall, Chris Bedard, Rob with no last name, Jody Pettingill, Tyler T, Lindsay Vickers, Melissa Snyder, Jacqueline Barzinski, David Brighton, Sophia? No, it's Sophia. Well, with no last name. Sophia. Kim Sophia. Hart. Audrey Mullies, Alec Lucas, Foster Webb, Brandon Cooper, Alicia Robinson, Heather Stepro, possibly, Elaine Pepard, Carolyn Peterson,
George's kid.
Anna, who's yeah,
George's kid,
Peterson or Pepard?
Pepard.
Okay, I don't know that.
Norm's kid would be Peterson.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, we'll go there.
Anna Varnell, Brittany Bright, Rug Doctor. I'm the Rug Doctor. What was that from? It's from Anchorman.
It's from okay.
I'm the Rug Doctor. No, it's not even that. I don't know what it's from, but it made no sense. Yeah.
Okay.
Pasha Hanaway. I can see the dickbag Pharrell. Colin? No.
Will? Those are very different people.
Incredible.
Colin Farrell and Will Ferrell.
I can see Will. Look, these. I'm the Rug Doctor. I don't know why he said. I don't remember what it's from.
I'm dying.
He calls somebody He says he's the Rug Doctor and something. Greg Staton, Shannon Macklin, Casey Rath, Bria McCabe, Ed with no last name, Harlop with no last name, Allie Colleen, Pasha Hanaway. I said that. Cyan, Angela Thomas, Shannon Macklin.
Sean.
Did I say that? Cyan M. What is CYAN?
Sean.
What does that mean?
Oh, I'm not sure.
I don't know either. Is that Sean?
Cayenne?
It might be
Cayenne
Sean.
Pepper?
That might be Sean in some weird language.
Maybe.
Shannon with no last name. Tina Pilkington. O'Neill Malden. Susan Kilbride. Deepak Chauhan. Like Chopra, I guess. Michael Yu. Adam Vermillion. Carissa Rowland. BR is the first name and C is the last name. I don't know.
Okay.
Maria Deravan George, Adam Windell, Courtney Vasquez, Erica Hyde. It's a gal. Robert Johnson, Sarah Rogers, Kristen Sullivan, Jamie or Jaime Mack, C and S Slinday, Slindy, Sarah with no last name, Casta Mom, whoever that is. Sterling Smith. Not the. Is that no? Ovi, OVI. I think. Judy Beam, Troy Babs, Eric Schneider, Alex Casale, Sarah Fish, Stacy Boyd, Valerie Ferrand, Chantel Lopez, Wendy De Leon, and every single person that patrons this show. You're the best. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. You guys are spectacular. Thank you for what you do for us. Thank you all year and every year. We really appreciate it.
Love you the most.
And absolutely. We're going to be here through the holidays. We will come out with episodes on Christmas week. People ask every year, but we always do it. We'll always give you something fresh and something new for Christmas because, even if you might be off from work or something, there's times when you're going to need a minute to just kind of gather yourself and put your show on and chill out. And we want to be there for you for that. So thank you for being there for us. If you would like to follow us on social media, head over to shutupandgivememurder.com. All the drop-down menus are there. They'll take you where you want to go. Keep coming back and seeing us. Thank you for hanging out for Billy Martin. We'll be back with something fresh next week. Not Billy Martin, but somebody else.
Brand new.
Live from the Crime and Sports Studios. We will see you next week.
Bye.